welcome the Swamp Creature.
Are you distracted?
We are wasting all of Meredith's time right now, so we need to hurry it the fuck up tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Meredith, what she has
We're
to
going to
do. Don't
skip
worry
the
about
cold open because our queen's time is very valuable, apparently, here, and we're going to get right into tradition, I guess.
Yeah, that's not a video. That was just a funny picture of Jordan.
Oh.
That was all.
I was wondering, like, what's going on?
Rob was waiting for this motherfucker to start crying.
Yeah, it was too. Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, what are you doing? Lead the fucking show. Where are we going? Come on, let's go.
I know.
Oh wait, you're gonna trusting Josh to lead this one? Oh man,
it's
that's
his show. It's his.
For those of you who don't know, the show's on a rotation. This is Josh's week. This is his show.
Yeah, it goes in cycles. Rob is the period episode, obviously, because he's a ginger, so it makes sense. He gives us the red flow.
Now all of a sudden those weeks of me posting a lot of stuff and episode content don't look so bad, huh?
Yeah, you're prepared.
Oh, yeah, but Mitch never actually watches any of them or does anything. But that's not where we're here. We still have to get to tradition because, once again, Meredith's time is very valuable, so we need to hurry this up. So, I know you're welcome. So, Rob, since you want to scream at the top of your lungs, why don't you go first? What you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking Donkey Punch number 2. As you know, Donkey Punch number 1 is a Mountain Dew, Blue Powerade, and vodka. It tastes like Baja Blast, but there's no Baja Blast in it. Now, Donkey Punch number 2, contrary to popular belief, there is Baja Blast in it, so it's just Baja Blast and vodka.
That's your Donkey Punch. Okay.
That's Donkey Punch number 2.
All right. Gotta hit him with the 1-2 punch.
Yeah. They taste the same.
Who's next?
All right.
Well, I suppose I'll go next then. I got Coors Golden again.
Wait, hang on. I thought you were doing Sober Summer or some shit. What happened to that?
And don't you remember?
No,
much like every
shame.
other person who has failed at such an endeavor before, I failed immediately. We went
Don't
through this
shame him.
last week.
Wow. I am going to shame him. That's what we do on this show is we shame each other.
Don't shame him for drinking. We can shame him for being sober. Don't shame him for drinking.
I'm going to shame him.
I'm going to end the shame fest here because I'm already losing control of this show very quickly here. You know, usually we would, I let Rob go first. I was going to go to Adrian, but Mitch just wanted to hop in like usual and like cut everybody off. So I let him do his stick. Adrian, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm going to restart the Shame Fest. I'm the only man here, apparently. I'm drinking Macallan 12, Black Label, like a man. I don't know what the hell Rob and Nick are doing, but that's how you do it.
Well, Rob is making a show-themed drink, so...
Single malt Scotch.
Yeah. Well, you're drinking it straight out of the glass, too, aren't you? Just like
Straight,
no mixers or nothing? Yeah.
Always
no
neat.
mixers. It's Scotch.
I know, it's delicious.
I don't want to hear anything from you.
Meredith, what are you drinking? Are you drinking with us tonight?
So I happen to actually have, unlike Mitch, succeeded in sobriety. I'm 7 years sober, actually, as of last Tuesday.
There we go. The shame continues.
I'm drinking some ice water.
Nice. All right.
Water on the rocks.
All right.
Water on the rocks.
Yes.
What?
What? You're getting beat by a girl. How's it going to get beat by a girl, Mitch?
What,
Joke's on you. He likes that shit.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I happen to know Mitch, and that is his thing.
Oh. These secrets are being...
I never specified whether I was the one being dominated or not.
No, we know it's you.
We know, yeah. We know you're looking for Joe Jorgensen's number for other ulterior reasons.
Guys, God damn.
Hey, I got an honorary Scotsman label. There we go. That's what happens when you drink Scotch like a man.
There you go.
All right, Tim, round us out. What do you got?
Are you and I drinking the same thing? In honor of a Josh show, I decided to pull out the Del Bach.
Are
you?
That is,
what do you got?
Yeah, I got the Dorado here.
Okay, so you got the Dorado, I got the classic. All right, there we go.
All
Josh
right.
show. Del Bach.
Twins.
That's
Yes.
right. I'm
You
not
guys are
allowed
gonna
to touch the Dorado. It's over
You
there.
guys might be in agreement more than you usually are on this occasion. Might be the Delrado Accords.
No.
Agreement. There's no such word as agreeance.
No.
He's a lawyer. What do you know, other lawyer?
We're in the South. In the South, we can say what we want to say.
That is true. That is true.
You live in Arizona. What are you talking about?
He's in Florida.
Oh, but you.
Hey, do you
Yeah.
want to
I'm
bring
not in
in?
this argument.
Do you want to bring in a seventh member?
He's here.
Yeah, go
Why
ahead.
not?
Introduce him.
Who is it?
I don't want to forget that he's there because he'll be respectful and quiet. Our
What's up,
hygienist.
Leighton?
Hey.
Black House
All
tonight.
right, so
Dang.
we're making this into the Brady Bunch really quick over here.
My-
Leighton, are you drinking with us tonight?
Yeah.
I am, yes. It's just a
Learned
vodka
his
with
lesson.
juice, though. Nothing special.
Nice. So I'm glad we all have
This is
gathered
bad.
here today, and yeah, we're
Yeah.
figuring out as we can figure out the configuration here with a group of 7. But we're all gathered here today because I got an overwhelming demand from our viewing public to get a rebuttal from Adrian and Meredith here after the complete debacle dumpster fire that we saw on Sunday night.
Can
for
someone
those-
recap what happened Sunday night?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Caryn
absolutely.
Ann. Oh, you want to do it? Go ahead.
I'll go ahead. I think, Tim, you'll.
All right, I'll do fine. So it was, what was it 3.5, 4 hours, something like that?
4 hours.
Yeah, on LP Alliance stream. Caryn Ann resigned from the LNC, and she went on LP Alliance to discuss what happened, to talk about her reasons for leaving, complain about Adrian, talk shit directly to Meredith. There was a lot of fun there. It dragged on a little too long for my liking, but I did suffer through the whole thing just so I could get the full story. And then I went and read the emails that led to the whole thing. But that's what you missed, Rob. Caryn Ann resigned, and then she went on LPA to go talk about it. So
This is massive news. This is massive news.
if
I
you
like
haven't,
how Tim- I just like how Tim is updating the current sitting LNC. The LNC.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, Rob doesn't show up unless it's to throw a fucking monkey wrench into everything.
That's right.
I'm going with this one. Yeah.
That's right. And I'm pleased to hear the news. I don't want to sit through a 3 or 4 hour meeting on a Sunday. I think I used my Sunday wisely this past Sunday anyway. But yeah, good job, Adrian.
Thank
I don't
you.
know. I don't know what you want me to say. Congratulations. I mean,
Welcome. This is the hero's welcome I was going for. Anna McArdle can claim she's Moses, but I'm the chosen one. I got rid of the pink-haired menace.
well,
it wasn't just-
Leighton's the chosen one. He's the only Jew on the screen right now.
I will say,
God's
all
chosen
joking
person.
aside, all joking aside, this is a true story. So before I left, that morning, before I left for mass that morning, I sent that email, and I was running a bit late. I still made it on time. I sent that email out because I was just irritated. Woke up, saw the whole thing, right? So I go to mass, and I'm just sitting there after communion, and I just think, something's got to give. Like, this can't, just in prayer. Don't even remember specifically what it was, but I was like, we need some sort of resolution here because this can't go on. And then I get out. And by the time I get home, I see, Nikayla's response. I have all these texts and messages saying that she resigned, but we don't see it, of course, because she just emailed the public list. And I couldn't help but think, man, if I wasn't already a believer, if this would have done it. I mean, that's just amazing that it all happened within, and over the most tame email I've probably ever sent. That's kind of amazing. But I just wish I would have known this sooner, because I would have just sent out an email like that, I don't know, 6 months ago, and it would have circumvented the whole need for an IC on her. But, beggars can't be choosers. It is what it is. The Lord works in mysterious ways and in his own time. So, it is what it is.
Thank Pope Joe, or whatever his name is.
Leo.
Pope Leo.
Tim, check Ronan in the chat.
He knows everything about the LNC that happened a couple days ago, but the Pope escaped his mind.
Well,
So,
I'll take our first $20 here on Rumble, of all places. Everyone chug.
God.
Meredith drown. There we go.
Oh, wait, that's the thing, huh? So I have to finish what I have, right? Is that this works?
Oh, nice. Yeah, exactly what you said. You could have circumvented all of this had you just been more more yourself sooner. I don't understand what the fuck is going on and why she fought so hard if this is the end result. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's some realizations here. There, I mean, I think Josh started off, or Tim started off saying, well, a recap. What is it? A rebuttal episode, but it's really hard to know where to start because almost nothing that she said was true. I mean, even her name had an apostrophe after it. Even that wasn't her name, right? It's weird. Like that was even misspelled. I don't know where to start. There are just like a lot of things that were insane. She claimed all these conspiracy theories and all this stuff, that she was in all these secret chats. And I love how she was. The best part, though, I will say, so I agree with Tim. The thing dragged on. I did suffer through the whole thing because it was just too funny to stop watching. But it did carry on. It dragged on for certain moments. But I will say that the funniest part was probably the first hour, because she unironically did my Chatterton stand-up like as a real thing. And it was hilarious. I mean, jokes that people hadn't even heard before because they were in private, like the hibernation one, the how do you type with like one hand while you're eating with the other, the Shrek one. I mean, I had bangers. I was getting texts like, "Oh my god, she is unironically doing your greatest hits list," but she's pretending to be upset about it. It was amazing. It was an amazing thing to watch.
Her reading that with righteous indignation and the jokes are just hitting. It was just like a fucking chef's kiss.
Well, and it's like I always give Meredith shit for watching reality TV, but I can't anymore. I get it now. That was funny. That was just unironically hilarious. And then she's just going down the line like, he says, and she's like screaming, right? He says I'm mentally ill and that I don't shower, and let me explain to you why I don't shower. And it's just like, oh my god, you can't, like, this is amazing. And she goes into this whole explanation about where her hotel routine is and why she has like 3 suitcases or whatever everywhere she goes. And then I haven't. He said that I ask for money all the time. The last time I asked for money was this. It was just like a few months ago, and it's like that's kind of like all the time, like for LP stuff and whatever. The whole thing was just wild. It was an amazing thing to watch in real time with, as Meredith said, righteous indignation and not an ounce of shame. But it was amazing.
I was trying to watch the recap while I was doing busy work at work, and the part that threw me over the edge, I was sitting there listening to her go through the highlight reel, like you said, and the one that got me was Chatterton's family is generationally inbred because they can't find anyone else to have sex with or something like that. And I was like, I bust out laughing at work, like, hey, what are you watching? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'd forgotten about that one. Meredith's like, I don't remember that one. Did you say that? I'm like, it definitely sounds like me, but I don't remember it. And that sounds about right. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong, but it was that one. And she repeated them all too, in like case people forgot or people joined late. She was like repeating it like at the halfway mark, and then at the end she just like did a recap of all of them again in case anyone missed.
I had texts from people who were like, "Why is she on here reminding us why we love Adrian?"
I know.
It was bad form. Yeah,
but I mean, it was amazing. I mean, there were some funny parts. I mean, there's so many parts, but there was one in particular where she's going through and she's saying, Adrian's doing all this. He's mean to me because he wants to be LPCA chair again. He wants to be chair of the LNC and blah, blah, blah. And so Kyle Davis finally chimes in and he's like, well, I've spoken with him personally and he's assured me that once he's done in California and once he's done with his LNC term, he's done. And she's like, well, yeah, I believe that, but he still wants to be LNC chair and he's going to do it in 2026. And it's like, you just in the same breath acknowledge that I don't want these things and then somehow do want them at the same time. Like, make them make sense. I don't understand how this works. And I love the Ben Weir part too, Ben is a really nice guy. I really like him. He's very sweet. It wasn't him being a racist and a bigot, but you know what? He's really nice. He's a horrible chair of LP and H. I think he's sweet. He's a racist. And it's just like, wait, what? What is happening here?
Yeah, I'm waiting. I believe LPA is talking to him right now.
He's on there live right now, I guess.
All the cool people are watching this because Ben's tism is too much sometimes. So that's why we're here.
Yeah. We'll get Ben later. It's fine. It'll be all right.
He's getting yelled at by a trans woman right now.
Is that really happening?
Which is also
Yeah.
something that he likes to do weekly, so that's okay.
That sounds like something he does with like leather on. I don't know.
I'm kind of upset that she missed one of my best ones that I thought, and it was that Saturn has never spoken to a woman without giving his credit card number. I like that.
Oh,
one.
nice.
Well, and we sort of know that to be a fact.
And we sort of
so-
know that to be a fact because we were in Miami when this happened.
Wow.
He like legitimately fell in love with the stripper and thought that she loved him for him. You know, it was like a classic. It was like really funny.
God.
It was a really hilarious thing. But I mean, the funny one that I will touch on, which is hilarious, and not a lot of people know this story, but because it got kind of marred the other day, I'll just go ahead and say it. So I don't even think Rob knows this story. Meredith does because she saw it happen in real time. But so she claimed that I was upset with that I hate Angela and I hate her because I didn't get a position on the LNC or whatever. And I was like trying to remember what she was talking about because I had no clue. And then I remembered what she was talking about. So in December 2023, I got a text from, and I have all this, like I have the text and the messages and stuff. So because I had to go back and remember. So I got like a text from High saying, you know, hey, we want to put you on the slate as an at-large for the QC convention. And I said, yeah, if you guys want that, that's fine. Did Angela say okay? And he's like, yeah, I talked to her. We're good. And I asked Angela on the side, like, that's what you want? And she's like, yeah, I'd really like, you need to be on there, whatever. I was like, okay, well, why don't we do this? If you're going to put me on the slate, that's fine. Send them my picture and the whole thing so they could do their whole thing, right? Said, if you guys want to do that, that's fine. I should still run for a Region 4 representative because that one's guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that I'll get an at-large spot in DC. I said, I don't think we have a number, you know?
Yeah.
And very candid about that. And they said, oh, that's a good idea, you know, whatever. Because I said, if I run for Region 4 rep, I'll ask Meredith if she wants to run for alt. She'll take that. And then when if I win at large, it vacates that seat immediately. She moves up automatically to Region 4 rep. And then it was a good plan, you know, whatever. Stuff started going downhill because of Kat McElroy and then convention. Angela and I were butting heads about convention and the cost and all this other stuff, as people already know. So then when we got closer to convention, I kept asking, I was like, I know we're butting heads right now. Do you guys still want this to be the plan? I don't have to do it, you know, whatever. Yeah, we're still going to move forward. We're still super stoked, whatever. So at some point in time, they released the slate and I'm getting texts. Like, I think I was like in the middle of a work call or whatever. And I'm getting texts and they're like, why are you not on the slate? Did you decide not to do it? I was like, what do you mean? And then someone sent me a picture of the slate and it had Bost instead of me. And I was like, oh, that's weird. So I just like text Height. I was like, hey, he's like, oh, that's just that wasn't supposed to happen. That was a mistake. There was a communication issue. And then it was like, oh, that was actually the draft one that we sent out. We're going to send out the real one later. I was like, all right, I mean, I don't have to run. Like, you guys know that, right? If you don't want me on the, that's fine. Like, I'm fine being done. And then, no, it's fine. So the plan went up all the way to the California convention, right? So at the California convention, at some point we'd recessed right before the Region 4 election because we do that at our convention in California. So just as I'm about to take the stage and gavel in, Angela runs up and she says, you can't run for Region 4 rep. And I said, what do you mean? She's like, well, you're an at-large right now. So if you run for Region 4 rep, then that won't be in order. And Harlos goes, what are you talking about? They don't take office until the adjournment sine die of the convention. And she's like, no, I'll have to rule it out of order. That's not, he can't be both, you can't have both positions at once. And I'm like, that's not how this works. And Harlos, Kathy Ganiskavich was there, Meredith was there. We're all like really confused. So at the last minute, I call an audible and say, okay, all right, whatever, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Meredith won for Region 4. And then Gary, if you want all, I'll support you for all. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we do that. And then I come to find out after that happens at convention, Angela was running around telling everyone that California hates me, that I don't have California's vote or support, even though, our slate won like they were supposed to in the whole bit. And I'm like, okay, so you guys didn't want me on. Why didn't you just tell me? And she's like, no, that's not what it is. But it's like all this stuff that Angela and I say all the time. And everyone here knows what I'm talking about. They can't just be direct. I said multiple times, just tell me if you like, I'm a big boy. Like, I'm not going to get offended. Not like Chatterton big, but I'm a big boy, right? Like I can, it's fine. That's not a huge deal. So, but they wouldn't do that. They're just not upfront and honest. And it's funny.
I'm sorry, Chad, you're getting ripped. You're getting ripped on this episode.
Don't fucking apologize for
What's
him
funny is
involving
I don't
the,
even know who
Vincent.
Chatterton is. I could not pick him out of a police
He's
lineup
been
if you needed me to.
No,
he's been made fun of.
down a hill.
He's been made fun of enough to where he can come on the podcast and at least rebut
That would
or
be the
talk
most
to Adrian.
boring episode ever. He'll have a script of jokes that he thinks are funny, and they're never gonna land. And then he'll talk about Ronar for a bit for some reason. I'm sure.
All right, sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
God,
then-
Vincent, you're pathetic.
So then Shirley, right shortly after the national convention, right? So the only meeting I didn't make on the LNC was the post-convention meeting because Angela asked me to come back 3 weeks after convention and take Gary. Gary couldn't do the alternate because some stuff came up, so he was going to have to resign anyway. And I said, "Do you want me to actually take it this time and do stuff, or what do you want?" Like, and she said, "Yes." Yeah. So I lasted all of like 3 weeks off the LNC before I was tagged back in because she needed help, and then the rest is history. So that's what's really funny. It's just like Carlos knows part of the story, but she's just so disingenuous about it. She was so outraged, and all these other people were so outraged. It was a huge thing in the state organizers chat, for those of you that may remember, about this whole thing, like, what's going on? Why is this happening? This doesn't make sense to me. Make it make sense. And it's just funny. So, and most of these people don't know what's happening. I think only 4 or 5 people knew the story before I came on here. But I mean, that's what happened. I mean, Meredith was there for the whole thing. She can back that up. It's really funny how history gets rewritten by a couple of people, and then they decide that, I all of a sudden want all these things that I've never wanted, and I'm just here, waiting out the term, doing what I need to do to keep this thing afloat until it's over, assuming that we make it to the end of the term. And then,
I wanted to make a joke somewhere about how your birth was unplanned and your ascension in the LNC was also unplanned. I couldn't get it to flow right, but you get the general vibe.
That was good enough. That was good. I like it.
It flows better than Josh's connection.
Apparently,
that is true. That is true.
We offended Josh. So who's going to take over with questions? Who's going to take over?
I got plenty of questions. Don't worry about that. First of all, this can't be true. There's no fucking way you're 6'2". Is that right?
I'm 6'1".
6'1". Oh,
I was about to say you're pretty. Yeah, you are pretty tall.
I'm a tall Mexican.
He's taller than me, and I'm a tall lady.
Tall Mexican for sure. That's like 6'5" in Mexican at least.
So my mom always used to get mad when I was younger because we used to go, Spanish mass, and it's all the Mexicans, right? And she'd be like, "We're not going to get us like, I need to sit in the front." I was like, "Yeah, that's a you problem. I stand in the back like a good Catholic, and then just do that. I can see over everyone else. I'm good. That sounds like a you problem."
Yeah.
So I walk in late, stand in the back like a good Catholic,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I will say anytime like I've had to talk to Adrian, like business LP related wise,
You have to stand on your tiptoes.
Meredith, hey, Adrian, can you go in the other room so she'll suck your cock and shut the fuck up for a second? Jesus Christ.
Rob, I'll put you on my shoulders. You're fine.
Rob, that's out of line. I strike women. I don't. I do it the right way.
She likes it too. That's funny. I think you. Anytime I've ever
on Sunday, I'm an abuser, so I abuse Meredith constantly.
That's true.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Meredith needs to start cooking that chicken correctly, so she okay. All right,
so she can be seen on camera.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It was delicious. I will say that.
Okay, yes, that's why I'm not on camera. I have a big black eye.
A black guy.
That's what I heard.
I think you said that wrong.
Adrian, she's got a black guy. You hear that?
He's only black from the waist down.
He's talking about me. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was gonna compliment you, but fuck you anyway. Let's just keep moving. Keep moving. We want to be like this. We want to be like this. Butt fuck. Let's go.
Ask me a question. What was your question, Meredith? Don't interrupt him. Let him ask.
I'm sorry.
He was complimenting
Rob.
you. He was complimenting you. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Anytime I've had to work with you after coming from the MC side of things and being like, "Is this what's going on with you?" and you go, "No, this is what's going on," and I find that either you are right or the truth is like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. We all just need to be able to work together. But it was very hard to work whenever someone on the team is making it the email chain unbearable. And I'm not talking about you.
Right. I mean, it's problematic when all this stuff gets lost in the weeds. But this is why people, even the people that don't like me, I've gotten a lot of emails privately. I get messages and stuff, DMs, whatever. People will start off with like, "I don't like you, but I respect you," or "When you're right, whatever. And it's like, I'm just genuine. I mean, that's one of the things that people kind of like. I'm not going to. What's really funny is that Caryn Ann kept talking about all these like secret chats, and then the Angela leak papers came out again when she was talking about, and it's like, all of the, like, I say everything to everyone's face. I've never said anything about someone behind their back that I haven't or wouldn't say to their face given the opportunity. And for some reason, everyone hates that. I thought libertarians were all about the truth and transparency, right? But apparently not. Like, we have to pretend to like each other and do stuff to our, even if we don't like each other. Like, I've just walked away from people. People will come up and say, hey, what? I'm like, I don't like you. And I just walk away because I don't want to talk to that person. But there are people that I may not agree with, but I'll talk to them and it's fine. But it's just really funny that that's the line, mean words. So people instigate stuff. There's like a line of people that just sit there and they poke me. And I take a lot. I don't do anything. And then maybe the 10th person in line pokes me a little bit too hard, or I'm kind of done being poked, and then they get punched in the face and they're like, how dare you? It's like, well, that's where we're at now. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. You do all this stuff. I mean, this is what I've gotten for all my trouble. So for thousands of hours that I've donated to the party of free labor over the course of, I didn't have a Freedom Calls LLC, right? So after thousands of hours of free labor since 2021, thousands of dollars that I've spent on this party at both the state and national level, I have been doxxed twice. I have had death threats. I've had threats of violence against me. This is why I had to keep me going to convention under wraps, right? And not for me, but because of Meredith. I didn't want anything to, inadvertently affect her. I've had 2 different employers called at least a total of 4 times as of recently. And I've gotten sued twice personally, not counting the lawsuit on the LNC and then a threat of a lawsuit against the LPCA. That's what I've gotten for my troubles, right? And it's like, this is why we can't attract serious people into this organization, people with professional acumen, because, it's really funny. Libertarians really hate the state unless they want to use it to weaponize it. Mimi Robson was the first to serve me she went through the theatrics of trying to serve me on the convention floor here in California over hotel points. And I saw someone talking about that the other day, which is just so funny.
What?
Yeah. So TLDR on that one. It's not even exciting. When Spike was coming to that convention, she donated some hotel points. So we didn't have to use party funds because I was really trying to strip the budget and make sure that, whatever. She donated those points. The hotel staff said, you can't use them because you're doing it for convention. We're giving you triple points on this and giving you a break here. You can't use points for that. You have to pay. And I was like, okay, fine. So I let her know, we'll hold on to these points for a different event, but we can't, as the party, right? But we can't use them. And then she's like, well, I want them back. And I was like, well, I have to see if we can give a donation back, because it went through the in-kind donation, went through our accountant. California has an accountant that does our FPPC filing, now our FEC filings. And then I was like, no, so we'll sort this out later, but you donated this to the party, it's fine. And then she sued me for those points that she claimed were worth $300 and some odd when they were really worth $100 and something. I gave them back to her. It was whatever. And then the second one was the TRO filed by Kat McElroy. But I mean, and that was just dismissed a month ago, which was just absurd and had no merit. She didn't even come close to meeting her burden of proof. And that was just to try to prevent me from, chairing convention here in California and staying on the LNC. So, I mean, that's what I've gotten from my trouble. And then but all this stuff happens against me. And it's fine, everyone turns a blind eye. It's okay. But if I call Chatterton, if I say that his chair is screaming for mercy, then I'm I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. It's a wild thing that we've become the party of mean words. I mean, most of these words and insults are completely acceptable with the Republican Party now. Are we really going to say that we are more feckless as the Libertarians than the GOP? I mean, the Democrats never stood a chance. But is that what we're really arguing here? That mean words and stuff, that's the thing. It's not that it's not that Libertarians don't shave. It's not that they have pink hair where they shower because they have pink hair, because they wear weird Statue of Liberty things. They show up to events nude or in tie-dye suits and stuff. That's not what's turning people away. It's me making a really objectively hilarious joke or slapping someone around after they.
I think the joke's really clever. It's very, very clever. I think you're very, very clever.
You know what you get? You know what you get? You get what you fucking deserve, okay?
I think you're so clever.
By the way, Joey, who sues for $300? Again, I am the Jew in the call. Do we want to?
Yeah, Meredith and I defer to our Jew lawyer, Leighton, up here.
Fuck.
You put all this time and effort into the party. You know what you get, Adrian? This is what you get. Okay.
This is what I get. But I mean, a lot of
Meredith
stuff,
can't see with due to her black eye, but you know, we were laughing not because of what you were saying, because everyone else could see the preview. You were just letting you go.
Oh, man.
I will still keep smiling in the face of adversity. But no, I mean, this whole thing is, it's just really funny that this is the kind of thing that we promote things that shouldn't be promoted and that deserve rightly to be ridiculed, and we lambast others that are actually, for all of the stuff that I do, for all the shit that I give, I take it and it's fine. I'm the first person to get, I never instigate anything. I do respond in kind, and people don't like it. And sometimes they're like, well, I just pushed you. Why did you punch? Well,
Yeah.
I get to do that. That's my call. I decide how hard the push was, and I get to decide how I want to respond in kind. But I also do the work. I'm on two of the most important committees, if not the most important committees on the LNC. I would have put on a banger convention had I been given the opportunity, but instead we went to a massive deficit. I put two very successful conventions here in California and made us a lot of money. Our bank account here in California is still twice what it was when I inherited it, plus like $30,000 of FEC money from the KVF. So, for all the stuff that I get, I've put in the work to back it up. I think I've earned the right to punch someone back when they come at me first. And on the LNC, I mean, I was secretary pro tem for like four or 5 months. It's not hard work, but it is a pain to have to do to stay on top.
I did want to ask you about that. Are you secretary pro tem right now?
Mm-hmm. So I was appointed by the chair.
You froze up.
Oh, sorry. So I was appointed by Chair Nikela to. I mean, like everything can't just stop because we don't have one. So
no wonder she's so mad. Not only did you cause her to resign, but you took her job.
Yeah,
that's fucked, dude.
Took her job,
and also.
Like what she's really mad at is that I'm doing it better than her because I can actually type, even though Spanish.
She says you suck at it, but
let me get this straight. You're a Mexican who took her job.
This is right. This is correct. You are right. Go ahead, Rob.
That is technically accurate. That's the best type of accurate and correct.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was there in Rhode Island for the meeting because I do make it to meetings.
Part of it.
No, I was 20 minutes late. Come on. What are you talking about? Was massively hungover. Thank you, Chair Nikela, for hooking me up with your ultimate hangover cure. But anyway, Adrian ran that meeting as secretary pro temp, and it went very smooth, and Caryn Ann was there to watch it happen too. So I don't know. She knows how it's going to go, and I think it's going to go pretty fucking smooth, to be honest.
Was that the meeting that was like the shortest meeting ever?
Yeah.
That was the one.
Yep.
That was that was Adrian running. You were the secretary, right? Am I remembering that correct? Okay. All right.
Listen, I had everything queued up, ready to go. All the motions were lined up, ready to go. There was very little debate or discussion on a lot of the stuff that passed because people didn't really have a lot to say. We got everything done in less than 4 hours, and that included a lunch break, an hour lunch break. That's what was on. 2 days of business condensed into 3 hours because I got things moving along swiftly. And she was really, really, really upset. She was just fuming. You could feel the anger and the resentment from that side weird corner that she was at, just like angrily live streaming to the 3 people that were watching. It was wild.
Yeah. She was sitting on the couch very quietly.
I could understand like being pissed off. You have to watch a thing you were kicked out of go on without.
She didn't have to watch. She got, that was one of the things that she rose.
You're gonna watch.
She got money to fly out to Rhode Island. She had people because she had like this plan to be reinstated, but that's not a thing. She got people to pay to fly her out to Rhode Island, and then I don't know, she took the first flight out that evening or whatever because like no one wanted to talk to her or be around her. And that's like the really funny thing. Here's the interesting thing about Caryn Ann that I think she's finally starting, and this is maybe just me. I'm projecting normal behavior onto someone that's not normal, but I think that here's the issue is that Caryn Ann makes everything personal. If you talk to her and you're nice to her, you're now her friend. And your best friends. She called me her best friend the other night, and it's like that's not even close. So you know how like Stanford calls itself the Harvard of the West?
Okay.
Harvard never called themselves the Stanford of the East, right? But she ascribes these labels and things to people that don't exist. So because we talked about business and stuff, we're now best friends. And it was like, that was a one-way street. She did the same thing with Angela. She's done the same thing with a lot of people. So what happens is she builds these like friendships in her mind, and then that person disagrees with her. And then all of a sudden it's, well,
Stab, 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 stab.
Stab, you're gaslighting me, you backstab me, how dare you? And now we're not, and then she just goes off the cliff and does and becomes her. And then it's wash, rinse, repeat every time. She's done. I mean, think about it this way. This broad has been removed twice. She's claimed that 2 different chairs backstabbed her and gaslit her, and she's a whistleblower all the time and whatever. And it's like, and then she's broken these. I mean, she's had a couple of the friends are here on this call, people that were actually good friends with her and stuff. And that she burned those bridges. She did that with members of the LNC, and all of a sudden, it's kind of like. It's kind of it's just like really funny that she never has any sort of self-reflection. It's never her, right? It has to be everybody else at some point in time. If everybody else is wrong, you have to wonder, like, am I the one? Is it's the escape team, right?
I saw that comment earlier today. I don't know if it was you that posted it, but somebody had made that same observation that she's had all these problems with all the different LNCs that she's been a part of. And at a certain point,
well, maybe that wasn't me.
And I will say you remind me too of an observation that I've made where it's like, I've never been buddy with Caryn Ann, but I've always gotten along with her. But I noticed when all this stuff really started kicking off, she became very, very more distant.
Right.
So like, because of the way it's internalized, because she had problems with you and Angela, I guess I just fell into the crossfire of that.
Well, that's what happens is that she makes you. What's really funny about all these people, and it's not just her. There are a lot of people on this like autistic libertarian camp that make you. It's a binary choice. You're either on team me or team that person, right?
Sure.
And it's really funny. As libertarians, do we not hate the 2-party system? Do we not hate binary choices? Like, I mean, I still talk to Rob. Like you said, he can call me or text me whenever he wants. We'll talk. I know what side he is. He's on with stuff. It doesn't mean I can't talk to him. Doesn't mean that I don't talk to other people that are still in the Mises caucus, and it's fine. It's almost like you can compartmentalize when it comes to this business thing, whatever. And I gave him a little bit of shake before the show, but at the end of the day, it's not like I hate you, Rob. You're the worst person ever. I'm never going to grab a drink with you ever again. I'm never going to accept an invite to the Shire. Like what the hell?
You're welcome in the Shire anytime. Especially if you're
just not for second breakfast.
Yeah, Todd said I
can't wait to have the second breakfast.
Third.
Todd said I can't go, but you have extended me an invitation, so I would not be violating the NAP to go.
Yeah, exactly. I switched my mic too. My mic was my webcam mic, not this mic, so it should be cutting out the keyboard things.
It said Meredith had no connection. Okay, she's back. All right, it's hard to tell. Yeah, but yeah. Now, I had some questions. There were some things that were brought up in there I wanted to ask you about. And Josh, welcome back.
Thank you.
There was something that came up in there about the promise that was made to Caryn Ann regarding you. I'm sure you caught that part.
Oh, yeah. That
oh, my God.
Okay, so here's what happened. All right.
I don't know if you would know that it happened, right? Because that would be like a thing I would promise behind your back.
No. So this is what happened. So as the SIC report stated, I immediately started, and Rob knows this. I started, corralling LNC members to discuss this and give Angela an ample time to explain her behavior. And then at some point in time, so at that point we still had, it was the Mises side versus the others, right? The haters or whatever. So at some point in time, we were increasing the scope of these meetings. So we had a meeting, I think, every day that week, if I remember correctly, when that story broke. The following week, we had because I think it broke it broke on Monday, I guess, because that would have been inaugurated the 20th. And then
it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we had meetings. And as those meetings progressed that I called, I started inviting more LNC members. As it turns out, the others were having their own types of calls, right?
Of course.
So, but then we kind of did a combination call. I think it was on Thursday or something like that, and to discuss what was going on. And so, I made it very clear that Heiss could not be chair. He wasn't equipped to do it. He's not a leader. I've seen what he's done with the caucus. I think we've all seen what he's done with the caucus. The crypto whales never came. They're still out at sea. And so, that couldn't happen. And so Nikayla graciously stepped up and said, I would do it if called upon, if everyone's okay with that. And so he did it. And I was like, okay, that's good. So I said, that leaves the at-large vacancy thing, right? And I said, okay, you have to be very clear and careful about what you want. I told him, I'm not planning on running for anything in California. I mean, I'd made this decision almost a year and a half ago already, but I told him, I'm still on the LNC until the California convention happens, which at that point was scheduled still for February, I believe. Or I think maybe we'd already moved it or something like that had already happened. But anyway, I said, until that convention happens, and I think that I'm an asset. You can decide whether or not you want to keep me on. If you want to support me and you want me to be, an at-large, then I'll gladly do that and keep helping the LNC in the best way that I can. And he, without hesitation, I didn't even finish. He's like, no, I absolutely need you on this board. And I said, are you sure? I don't care. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I will ride off into the sunset after convention. I'm not running for anything. So he's like, no, absolutely. So there was no deal. He had to go and talk to them and say, like, you understand that you don't like him, but he is, like, we need him to do stuff. And especially during this transition.
The point of this is that there was never a time where Adrian said, I won't vote for Steve if I'm not an at-large. That is the thing that I was disputing.
Right. There was no deal on the table to do any of that. And she just kept saying,
Adrian, he would have voted for Heist? No.
Caryn Ann's big thing was well, you're going to keep going after me. And I was like, look, lady. And I said this on the call. I was like very, very clear. Oh, there we go. JJ. Love JJ. So he, I was very, very clear to her on the call. And I said, I'm not going to, I don't think anyone has the appetite for more removals. Like, this is going to be hard enough. We already went through yours. We're going to go through Angela's if she doesn't resign. We don't need to do any of this anymore. Just don't give us a reason to move forward with anything. Like, that's what it is. I never agreed to not remove her or whatever. And this wasn't a removal now. I mean, she did something that was wildly immoral, possibly fraudulent and illegal. At the very least, immoral. So it's like, that.
Are you talking about her putting? Wait, not the latest Colorado thing. I'm talking about.
No, he's talking about the latest
Colorado thing. She called a rum convention and tried to do.
So
something.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah,
I do want to get to the. I do want to get to the convention itself, but I'm still like I thought we were still on the deal for you to be at large or whatever.
Well, that's what she's saying. So she's saying that she considered it an affront because it all does tie in, because she said she is claiming that there was a deal and that wasn't like, so it's like, I'm sorry. So if you can do whatever you want, there was no deal. I never agreed to anything like that. I said, you need to behave and don't give me a cause for anything. I have no desire to go after you. Like, I don't hold grudges with people. Once something is passed, we move on and life goes on. Okay, like, holding grudges is a woman thing. Like, that's not something that men typically do. We usually, and I'm not even kidding, like, we fight each other or do whatever, throw blows and then go have a drink and it's fine, right? Everything is fine. I think any guy here that's had a fight with someone.
That's actually what she kept saying. She kept saying, Adrian thinks that Steve has no balls. And I was like, he's told Steve that to his face.
I have conversations.
To be fair, we've all said that.
Yeah, we've all told that.
And I was like, and Steve has called Adrian an asshole. That's how men talk to each other. That's like verbatim what I said on the stream.
And here, look, Hlavakia can back me up on this. We had a private exchange where, when you were credentials committee chair, and I had it out with you, I gave you like my unabridged thoughts on certain things. And that's it. I didn't go like talk about behind your back or do whatever. I was very direct with you, and you were like, you're right. I get it. I appreciate you coming to me, whatever. And then we were fine. Like, everything is fine. It's almost like if you're just direct with someone and you treat them like an adult, things can happen. But that's not like treating Caryn Ann Harlos like an adult isn't an option, because she's not an adult. I mean, there's something. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know what's wrong with her exactly. I have theories, but there's clearly.
You're a sociopath.
And
that's what I learned.
As a sociopath, I know mental illness when I see it.
Yeah. It takes one to know one. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no. Sociopaths are notoriously smart. So I don't know what she is, but as someone with a diagnosed
sociopathy or whatever it is.
Well, she certainly knows what she's talking about when it comes to like parliamentary procedure, but she kind of weaponizes sometimes
but she doesn't. That's it. She just sounds very confident all the time, and then she lies to suit her own needs.
Well, that's what I was about to say. She will sometimes omit things from Robert's rules or like straight up just not like I don't know, and then get caught doing it by either side.
No,
And that's what I'm saying. It's not. I don't know. She weaponizes it.
Rob, no.
She's just.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like that you're trying to like make it sound like she's not really sure what she's doing here, but no, it's kind of like Adrian says, like she's very hypocritical in the fact of the rules are meant to suit her needs, and when they don't, they change to suit
No, I think
her
that's
needs.
I think that's exactly what I was saying, Josh, is she weaponizes it, and if whatever she wants, she's going to tilt the rules that way, and then she's been caught on it by both sides.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think a great example was in Miami, and you and Adrian were there for it when she made a whole stink about. I think it was Adrian and Meredith playing musical chairs as regional rep and alternate. When what?
Well, the reason that happened was because I actually slept in, but
this bitch was doing fucking musical chairs with Adrian in the credentials committee. And it's all legal. It's all proper under Ronner. Here's the citations, and then 4 or 5 months later, Miami. That's inappropriate. Here's the citations in Ronner on why you can't do that.
That's 100% accurate. And see, the funny thing about like how I operate, and JJ can back me up on this. He's the California Convention parliamentarian, and I've leaned on him for advice. I ask him, "Can I do this thing?" It's a flow chart. If he says yes, then he tells me how I can do this thing. If he says no, it's like, oh, well, that sucks. It's not, well, what if? Or what if I do this? Or no, if he says no, it's a very short conversation. He tells me, no, you can't do this because X, Y, or Z reason. That's not how Caryn Ann operates. If you don't give her the answer that she likes, she goes to the forum. She goes and asks everybody else until she gets the answer that she wants. To go into the Colorado thing for just a bit, that whole thing, her whole convention thing and her notice, whatever, she went on the forum page, still online. 2 authors of Robert's Rules of Order told her no. That's not how any of this works. And she said, well, you're not listening to me. They're like, no, you're not hearing what we have to say. And he does say no to me a lot of times. Thanks, JJ Dick. Just kidding.
So what exactly happened with Colorado?
So here's my understanding of it. So my understanding of Colorado is, so they had a rescheduled convention once already. Something happened with it was a notice requirement. I don't know.
No. The initial one the venue canceled on them because of the the Jew tweet.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So the venue canceled on them because of a Jim Wiley tweet that people had forgotten about till like literally this moment. Anyway. So then they rescheduled convention. So the bylaws, their Colorado bylaws have some weird, they have a whole bunch of notice requirements. And one of those notice requirements is that they have to publish notice 15 days prior to the convention in every county in Colorado that a registered libertarian resides in.
Yes.
Okay. Now.
In a major newspaper. It has to be a major newspaper.
In a major newspaper. And I'm going to throw in, now I don't know if this is 100% true, but I do have it on good authority. Anyone want to take a wild stab in the dark as to who put that in the bylaws?
It was supposed to be Caryn, right? She
Caryn
said,
Ann?
Yes. That's my understanding.
Well, actually, I don't want to stand up for her on this one, but I actually have heard Hannah and Wiley say that it's actually part of minor party law in California.
Okay,
so I don't know if she's wrong for doing that.
But nevertheless,
I saw somebody say that on Twitter.
Okay,
well.
so if that's okay.
But you don't have to put it in the bylaws. You don't have to put it in there.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, no one's they have almost every state that I'm aware of has seasoning requirements. We do here in California. Like
that's
no
on there.
Walk up on the street and just go and do whatever anyway. It doesn't matter. Now, what she decided to do. So then Wiley sent out the notice on behalf of Hannah, letting everyone know that the convention wasn't going to happen. And so, she kept telling us, and in that secret LNC chat that she was referencing, she kept telling us, I don't even know if I can go to convention. Me and Wayne have like back problems and he may need surgery and my health isn't good and all this stuff. But she had and I was scheduling a fundraising call for LNC members to train them on Saturday. But I didn't do it because of her, because she wanted to be on the call and she couldn't, she was so sick and whatever. And I was like, all right, well, whatever, it's fine. I didn't actually know that she was going to go to Colorado and pull this whole stunt, but or to the convention and do this whole thing. But so the notice wasn't given. Hannah and Wiley and the
By the way, also, can I just say she went out of her way to go because where it was Hannah Goodman's hometown, which is on like the Nebraska border. which is really fun. It's like at least 3 hours from
3
where
hours
Caryn Ann lives.
It's like 3 hours away.
And the
So-
reason they held like Hannah basically went or was going to have them just gavel in just because in case people didn't get the emails that it was canceled, they wanted to be there to say, hey, this is what happened. Sorry. And so
Just as a
Caryn
courtesy.
Ann was one of the people who knew it wasn't going to happen. So she did not need to make that trip.
Well, then on top of that, hold on. So then she also, so at first she kept fighting this, right? So not only did she go to the Ronar forums and then try to get all these people's opinions that would side with her, but she wrote an email under her husband's name, under Wayne Harlos. I have a copy of the email. She wrote the executive committee of Colorado, like, this is not okay because blah, blah, blah. She signed it Wayne Harlos. It wasn't Wayne. I think we all know what her writing or lack thereof is. So it's funny about the disingenuous.
Was it in pink?
Thing. No, it wasn't in pink.
It was in pink. Dead giveaway.
There were a lot of typos, and
the paper was pink.
I've spoken with Wayne. He can barely get out of sentence, so I don't really, I don't really think that he's
don't
emails. But nevertheless, so she knew that all this was like not going to be okay, whatever. So it got pushed back to November, and you know what? And as far as I know, Hannah,
Meredith, Jesus Christ,
I took care of her.
Yeah, Meredith, stop. All of the LPCO XCOM took responsibility. They're like, we missed this notice. There's all these notice requirements. Like, we messed up. This is our bad. Now, people want to say that they did it on purpose. I don't know. I was told that they didn't do it on purpose, that it just happened. And it's whatever. And it's 3 months away. Who cares? But the thing that really gives me pause here to trust anything that Caryn Ann says outside of the fact of the obvious is that she meddled in California's convention and she used the same argument that I used, except I was right. I gave notice on our public list as I was supposed to do. That she cried foul and went through the whole thing. I had JJ write me a parliamentary opinion that proved that I'd given notice because we'd always given notice via the public list. And that's how it works. That's why you have a public list so that the public can see it, right? Not arbitrarily decide what notice is, but she made a huge stink about it. Robson and the JC decided that they needed more time to recruit. I have an email of proof of that. They didn't start the recruitment process for the other side until I think it was March or April of this year. So after, the convention was supposed to be in February. So all this cost the California party $9,000 of donor money. And I still have to be chair, which I don't want to be until next month when we actually have convention. So this whole thing, and I said, this is like ridiculous. Even if I had broken notice, which I didn't, we're talking about 5 days. It's still 90 days out. Who cares? Or 100, is it 90 or 120 days? Whatever. It's still, that the amount of time out, everyone can make plans. It's fine. Some people have already booked flights, though. Some people have already booked their hotels, whatever. She tried to make that argument as if the bylaws don't matter anymore because people, let's use common sense, people. And it's like, are you kidding me? It goes back to what Havaka said earlier. It's really what Caryn Ann wants at any given time, everything else be damned. And to paraphrase St. Thomas Aquinas, if you follow in the bylaws if you accept in the bylaws what you like and you reject what you don't like, it's not the bylaws you're following, but yourself. Now, I think that bylaws suck and they're stupid, but if you're going to weaponize them, you better not be hypocritical about it. It's kind of like it's not hard. Be consistent. And I may be a lot of things, but unethical and not consistent are some of those things that I'm not. It's wild.
So I do have a couple questions regarding the whole Colorado thing in general.
I was muted.
And everything. The main one was this Hannah's first time handling a convention, putting together stuff, or was it those people's first time doing that? So they weren't aware of the requirement as far as putting that in the papers and things.
Oh,
like
no,
that,
I can
or
answer
what was
this.
the deal there?
So they have their vice chair who apparently, it could have been the secretary vice chair, who was supposed to notice it. He was struggling with some substance abuse issues, and he went into rehab, and that's part of the reason it didn't happen. So that's the person who was in charge of noticing it.
Right. And from what I could tell, the notice stuff, it's in their bylaws. It says something about noticing in the paper. I don't know if that's state law or whatever. What I heard on the stream, and maybe I misheard, but what I heard on the stream was that notice to notify in the paper or whatever had to do with the election of directors or something like that.
That's her excuse.
Yeah, but that's not what the bylaws in Colorado say. It says it's very at the very top. It's like this is a preempt thing for the whole fucking convention. It's not for any specific election or whatever. Now maybe the state law has something that's different. Like you said, I don't know. I tried to find it. It's Colorado sucks. But
It does suck.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is
Yeah.
I don't support at all what Caryn Ann did in Colorado. I think it's absolutely completely against everything that, and again, she is manipulating everything she puts out to basically make herself sound better, and that's just what she's going to do.
She
But
loves
in my
to be a martyr.
interpretation, at the same time, if these people have handled conventions before out of Colorado, shouldn't they understand that that's a requirement and be doing that? If somebody went into rehab, I get that, but also there's like chairs and people there who should know that and kind of fill that
Communications
void or get that
directors.
position filled.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a comms
For sure.
director,
I mean-
so for instance, like that's my position here in Alaska. So like I get the argument there, but I also see this, and I've seen this done, and so like when Adrian says people working back rooms kind of talking trash at him when they weren't supposed to be kind of stuff, like I've seen that happen in person.
That was
So I
a
know
weak
that
one,
with the
dude.
MC stuff.
Everybody that organizes any kind of at any level, even between two people, you're gonna talk in a private chat. Like
Right.
this fucking
But
argument. Yeah, this is bullshit, dude. Everybody does
I have seen people, and I think this has happened, I think people could admit it, use these restrictions, these requirements, we have to say this is going on in these specific places to move the dates of conventions before and push things around. And I think that is sort of a dangerous thing. I'm not saying that happened in California, because your situation is different from Colorado, at least from what I'm hearing.
Well, really quickly before Meredith says, just to be clear, because this is another accusation that she made, I never colluded with Jim Wiley about anything, and no one asked
I wanted
me
to ask you that. Yeah.
So I don't have Jim Wiley's number. The last time he DM'd me on Twitter was I think it was 5 months ago. I haven't spoken to him I think he replied to one of my emails in the private thread or maybe it was the public thread on the LMC where he's like, I'm with him or whatever. But this is what happened, and Meredith can vouch for this because she was literally here. I slept in for the first time on a Saturday in probably 3 or 4 months. And I woke up to a couple of, texts and missed calls, and one of them was from Hannah Goodman. And so I call her back and I'm like, hey, I just woke up. What's up? Sorry. It was 9 something my time. And she's like, I'm sorry to wake you. I didn't mean, and I was like, no, what's up? What's going on? She's like, Caryn Ann did this thing and whatever. I was like, are you serious? She was like, she was calling me for Nikayla's number because she needed to see what's going on or whatever. So I called, I gave her his number, and then they took care of it from there. And as I started going on social media, the thing that really did me in was I found a video online. I think that was Jim Wiley that posted it, but I was scrolling through social media. This was the thing. And I saw the video of the 7-minute convention, and I was pissed when she said the delegates get to interpret their own bylaws. That was the whole Josh, remember the whole credentials thing, the spirit of the
that was another thing that kind of pissed me off.
As soon as I saw that, I said, this is absurd. She knows that what she did was wrong, because I was still trying to piece it all together. And I sent out that email motion to do it. And that was before I went to...
Can you, maybe Josh can do it since he hasn't said so much and it's his show, but can somebody explain to me the context of that? Because I saw in the email thread that you mentioned that, and why is that so offensive?
Oh, let me tell you why it's so offensive. So during the credentials committee, probably one of the biggest stinks and fights and fucking dilatory delays of the whole convention that caused the whole seat them all fucking protest was over Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, their bylaws basically interpret that in order to be a delegate, they have to be a member of the Oklahoma party, blah, blah, blah. They have to be chosen at convention, blah, blah, blah. Anybody not chosen at convention can be elected or appointed by the, EC, blah, blah, blah. Now, the caveat to all this is that in their bylaws, they have what they call the spirit of the bylaws clause, where essentially it legitimately says it in their bylaws, is that that the bylaws are meant to be in the spirit of the rule, not the word. So that they're open to interpretation if the bylaws aren't really what they need them to do at the time. And
what?
So Oklahoma was saying that no, all these people from other states that we're adding on it's all legal because in our bylaws, our EC appointed them after the convention where we elected all of our in-state delegates, so it's okay. And basically, that was the big fight in, the credentials committee was, well, do we honor their bylaws, which, are they really allowed to, or do we say, fuck you, Oklahoma, your spirit of the bylaws clause is bullshit, which my opinion was that, and you heard me say it several times on this show leading into convention. I said it in the recorded convention credentials committee meeting, is that if somebody sued, because the bylaws are a contract between the membership and the organization, if somebody in OP Oklahoma sued them because they didn't get a delegate slot for whatever reason, I don't think that spirit of the bylaws clause, and I have two attorneys on this show who can tell me I'm a retard and don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not an attorney. But I don't think that would hold up in court. I really don't.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. I mean, it would really depend. I haven't seen the clause.
Exactly.
I mean,
such a lawyer answer. It would depend. It would depend. This ain't legal advice. I think. I think they're a bunch of Oklahomos, and that is legal advice. You can take that to the bank.
Well, you know what that's particularly funny about this is that if anybody anyone here was still in the Mises caucus right after convention, we had like that post-mortem Zoom call, and Caryn Ann was up in there pissed as a motherfucker because she was like, and it's because our delegates were not seated properly because and like screaming at people because of that.
So she was screaming at me on stage about it. Like, you need to fix this. I was like, look, the delegates are the highest authority in the LP. At the end of the day, I'm just the humble credentials committee guy.
So let me get this right. You made that argument at the convention thing, and then she got mad at you at the time, and then later used your argument here to say like that the delegates get to decide what happens in Colorado.
And people in Michigan are rightly really pissed at her because she was the big champion of the Michigan lawsuit. And I guess, whatever happened with Michigan is sort of like a similar thing where now they're like, oh, we got to interpret our own bylaws and we got sued for it. So
it's almost like we should let states handle their own business, and the LNC and an officer of the LNC should not interfere in any capacity.
But because it's her state, it's okay.
Well, I want to make it super, super clear because this was just a lie that was peddled the other day. I never coordinated with Hannah Goodman or Jim Wiley. Neither asked me to make this motion. It's almost like I have an IQ of above at least 90, and I was able to be outraged on my own about the hypocrisy that was blatantly happening. And I made that motion on my own. And again, the motion was to create an investigatory committee per our bylaws and on the LNC to see if what she did was really, and there was already some pretty damning evidence, but you never know what investigation brings up, right? It was to find out what it is that she had done, but she immediately knew that, that it could lead to her removal, because and what that tells me is that you kind of know that you messed up and that this investigation is not going to be favorable to you a second time. And, do you really want to go through all that? And do you really want your hypocrisy on full display? I mean, she's lost fans with every step of the way. And the thing is that a lot of people in Colorado don't really care for her. A lot of people in general don't really care for her. And this is part of the Caryn Ann problem, is that people use her. She's a useful idiot for a lot of people. They use her when they can, for parliamentary stuff or whatever. And then the minute that she goes off or they don't agree with her, they kind of toss her off to the side, and they'll, she makes more of that quote unquote friendship than she should. And this is why she keeps getting.
That's what I said to her that got her crying on Sunday.
And then she's
good job, Meredith. You made her cry.
She's openly admitted that she's stupid when it comes to stuff like this, and that she doesn't understand that she should be better. And she's never gotten better because she just likes attention. She likes when people say, oh, you're right, or whatever. And then the minute that they're like, well, you're actually wrong. No, I'm not. I'm never talking to you again. How dare you take team whatever side, whatever the issue is on that thing. And then we move forward. And I mean, the hypocrisy is just too much to bear. And I was talking about this with Meredith earlier, but I mean, there is something in which, like, Plato's Republic, he talks about this in the Republic. And he talks about how hypocrisy is something that makes the world go round. And it's necessary for a functioning society, because if everyone walked around like me and told the truth to everybody and what they did at any time, society couldn't function. We would collapse. Okay?
I can't listen to him suck his own dick like this.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm putting my philosophy.
Did you say why?
Philosophy degree to use. But some people
You would
like
be a Plato fan.
I tuned him out for a minute. I really don't know what he said.
But people like me are necessary in a society to function because you do need those truth tellers.
Rob,
I think that was an exact translation.
I should have known better than try to educate Florida man.
Stop pushing your shit.
Alaska man here, man. I'm further off.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adrian. We can't all have an IQ above pond water.
That's right.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, Saint Adrian of California. We will never wrong you in any way. You are the ultimate truth teller.
Saint Adrian.
Here somewhere.
There you go. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Did you get that custom made?
No, this old chick in our party made it for him.
This old chick, she's so pissed right now.
No,
she
she
knew how to
actually she thought that he was gonna fuck her. She was really mad.
What? For the candle? Come on.
She wanted you to pour the wax on her.
Come on, what Cracker Barrel did she take you to?
He was so confused. I was like, dude,
Hold
she's
on.
trying to fuck you.
I want you to see how hard
Just
he's
'cause the
fucking
candle?
blushing right now. Look how red his cheeks are.
Just because you look like me. Just because of the.
No, never say that. No.
You're as red as me. You're as red as me.
How dare you fucking say that? Never ever say that lie ever again. Or you're next on my on-see hit list.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll make some.
Oh, that would be fun. Removing Vincent would be fun.
I was gonna say you look like these guys then.
Well, I would love to. This is related to a super chat.
Why is he gay?
Yeah.
Wait, so I know Wiley. Who are the other two?
Convicted pedophiles in Seattle. Anyway.
Are you really?
Oh,
no, they're like Antifa people or something. Yeah.
Hannah Goodman posted today. I knew her husband had been to prison, maybe for murder. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Apparently he's been in prison for killing a pedophile or something. I don't understand.
What?
Listen, I was trying to save all that for some super chats. Get your drinks ready. We got a couple celebrations here.
Getting a dab hit ready. I'm out of alcohol.
All right, Joey Two Gun, 7 months, one of the first members and the only mod in our channel. So if you get banned, it's Joey's fault. 7 months. Thank you, Joey. Everybody take a drink. 7 months also with Barfo here. Take a drink. He says drink more.
Woo woo.
So there we go. We got a $2 chat from Ronan in Rumble. Said Josh has Jim Wiley's number and it might get punched. We won't have to go into that if we don't need to. And then,
again, we don't get the money from Rumble. I'm pretty sure we don't get any money from
the money's
Rumble.
not lost. The money's not lost. We just haven't set it up.
Yeah.
It's in limbo.
What's crazy is it's stupidly easy to set up.
Well, you need a PayPal,
Then
which means
why
I have
don't
to
you
set up
do
another
it?
account.
Guys, PayPal is so easy.
Yeah, it's like
I've already
really
done enough
easy.
for this fucking channel. Okay.
You want me to set it up? I'll do it.
Yeah, you do it.
Hey, I'll
That's why I
set
don't
it
check the
up.
mug shot. There we go. Take
set
like
it up.
10 drinks, and then this one is especially
Fed
for Rob.
or
Go.
I'm a Jew. I'll route
Oh.
that PayPal right to my account.
See this? Y'all's QB already talking shit about Alabama. Y'all gonna get whooped the first game of the season.
The candle does come with a prayer. I just want to say.
Can you pray the prayer for these lowly FSU
Knowles.
fans who are about to go 5-6 this year?
I can. So it says, King of the North Emeritus, chairs of liberty, bless the liberty-minded, guide the lost who wish to be found, condemn to evil to hell, and pedophiles to wood chippers. Forgive the retarded. They can't help they were born fucked up.
That's what it says.
Amen.
That's great.
Forgive the
Prized
retarded.
possessions. However,
Yeah, this
blasphemous
chick really
might be.
wanted to fuck him.
Well,
Clearly.
Base.
I mean, she obviously knows him very well, Meredith. That is like a
Yeah.
very good prayer.
It's a very good prayer.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't done anything like that for him, so
Yeah, Meredith can't read, so all of your jokes about her go completely over her head.
You don't have to read if you're a family law attorney.
what even are you?
We do a lot of things.
And did you even? How long did it take you to pass the bar, motherfucker?
A lot more than you.
A lot more than you.
He had to go to the Gandalf school, though. It was harder for him.
It's okay.
Well-
I know it's
baby.
some people aren't good at tests. It's fine.
Well, you come to Florida. Florida's is very difficult. So is California's.
California's the hardest
weird.
one in the country, baby.
Florida's is hardest in the
No,
country.
not
Fuck
as
you.
hard.
You know where the all the old lawyers come to retire so they don't have to pay state income tax? Florida. That's why they pass.
Old people in
There's
jail
nothing
go
to do with the
Florida.
bar.
Alaska.
I really like this battle of the lawyers. You have Meredith making an argument. Vince is like, Florida's so hard.
I gave an argument. I said all the good attorneys from every state retire in Florida
just
so they
because
don't have
Florida-
to pay a state income tax.
But
yeah,
but
they're
the state
not
income
practicing law anymore.
the state income
They're
tax has
retired.
nothing to do with the bar. These are
Right.
Yes,
different things.
No. The lawyers who are experienced coming in have to take the bar because we don't reciprocate, much like
We
California.
don't either. Yeah.
Yeah, and New York and
Do you
Texas.
take the hardest test of your life when you're first getting into a job or when you're retiring?
Yeah, right.
You have to. I mean, you can waive in, but you have to take it. If you're coming into Florida and you're trying to practice law and build up for retirement, you still have to
Robert.
take the bar.
Let me ask you a question.
We're not
Why
on your
would
side.
I want to take the bar if I'm retiring? I'm coming to Florida to retire. That means I'm
There
not
you go.
working anymore. That's
I mean,
my question.
you still take cases here and there. Like we got a guy we took over. He retired. He's
A
taking all
lot
his
of lawyers
good
get
cases.
bored when they get
Yeah.
when they retire, and they just like start working again. It's weird.
That's why they come. That's what we have here in Alaska, because you can't pass the bar here. There is no fucking college to get a law degree here, so everybody goes out of Alaska, works in the lower 48 as a lawyer, and then moves back to Alaska in retirement and just takes
Oh,
random
that's crazy.
cases.
You don't have any law schools up there?
No.
Who is this
No.
Russian asset that's on this show? What's going on?
Wait,
The
which
lower
Ru-
48?
No,
Oh,
So I
lower
was gonna
48.
mention. Oh yeah, lower 48. You guys are all others. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
You're negotiable, okay? It's fine.
Yeah, we can tow you to Canada at any point.
Yeah, they call us
Oh.
Goyim.
Wait, Leighton, you're a
That
Jew?
He's a fat Jew.
That's why
Do
we've
you-
been calling
do you
it
think-
our
He's a
Jewness.
high Jewness.
God damn it. Do you
I
think
am
we
not
do this for
impressed.
fun? Okay.
so I'm not practicing, but familiar.
You look very goy to me.
Oh fucking Jesus! Tell that to everybody who meets me.
Hey, boy, Savior's name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know who this Free Mitten is. Has he called my chair I don't know who Free Mitten is. Why did it cut off? Send your thing again.
We're
I don't
listening.
know.
to
Probably
you.
like
it
a
was
faggot,
censored.
which is more
It
than
can't be
likely retarded. Absolutely, probably has happened.
Mhm.
Dumb as shit. Yeah, probably he's called you
So
your chair
my
that
first
too.
interaction with Adrian,
Third
I think
version
I've
is
met
better.
you
You're
now
correct.
once or twice in person briefly. But my first interaction with you recently was because of you were interim secretary. I was in. This is the only time in my life I can say this, but I agreed with Susan Hogarth on an issue because I was in the
Jesus.
chat.
And you guys look alike, so that's cool.
Oh, you motherfucker. Josh.
Listen, you son of a bitch.
Rob. I'm gonna get you back for that. There's gonna come a time when I edit something horrible. You
fucking goddamn fucker.
You know exactly why it happened.
He'll do it
But
again.
as I believe it was you who did it, you removed, I believe, her comments and my comments in the live chat from the YouTube thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they
So
suck.
No.
this was
Wait, no, that wasn't Adrian. That was
You
not
know who
Adrian.
it was?
That was
No.
Angela. Wasn't that Angela?
It was Angela. Angela was running it the whole time.
What? Why are you not allowed to say it was her? Was it her?
I
or
don't know.
not?
I'm just fucking with you.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
I'm pretty
look.
sure it was
Because
Angela.
Rob
No,
is
no,
such a
no,
pussy,
so
he'll
hold
go
on.
back
So-
on her side in 2 seconds.
no.
This
Let
is
me.
here.
No. I have extra bones to pick with Rob now. We're not going to talk about it on here. But
I'll
you
fucking do it
motherfucker.
again.
So I want to be clear. This is a perfect example, and I said nothing. I took all the heat for that. People were attacking me and tagging me on Twitter, sending emails to the LNC. Why is Adrian allowed to host a YouTube channel and censor people and turn the and do all this stuff? And she's like, "Isn't this hilarious?" I'm like, "It is for one of us, I guess. Whatever." I said nothing at the time, right? That was her. She was in a. So if you go back and watch the recording, you can see her furiously typing. And so what's funny is that people are accusing me. Well, my hands are here, right? And I have a drink in one hand and my vape in the other. And they're like, "Why is Adrian typing and doing stuff and calling people losers and all this?" That wasn't me. They're like, this isn't an appropriate use of a party asset and all this stuff. That was all Angela. You can see.
I'll be honest with you. It was right. It was around this same time that I was unfollowed by her and a bunch of other people sort of at the top of the Mises thing at the same time. I've been an organizer for 5 years. Technically, I'm still in all these chats and I'm still a fucking organizer, but they just haven't removed me yet. But I have grown distant from the, I'm next on the fucking chopping block. And that stems from a long.
It's going to have to be a way bigger chopping block than the normal chopping block.
Yeah, they're going to need a fucking tree trunk.
Wait, Leighton, weren't you losing weight?
He's lost a lot of weight.
Lost 110 pounds.
That's
so.
fucking amazing.
Can you do me a favor?
I'm like,
can you give your secret to Chatterton? I can't look at him anymore. Can you DM him and just your secret?
Dump that fat fuck in the middle of Alaska wilderness.
Yeah. Lift wood. Move.
Wait, but it's a quick question. Wait, to go back really quickly, what was the message that was deleted? What was the compliment that you, or the detriment?
Oh, it was multiple. It was, so what I was in there for was because I went in there because this was during, I believe they were talking about investigate, or it was either during them talking about the investigation, or it was something to do with that, I think, or it was one of these issues that was coming up. I think it was around August, I want to say. It might have been before then, but I don't know for sure. This was a while ago, I think. But I'd have to look back, because I put things on Twitter about it. I mean, I put like screenshots of like the chats disappearing and Susan Hogarth and me having to agree with each other in the chat, being like, wait a minute, no one cussed, no one swore. That was my thing. I was like, well, I run a YouTube channel. I'll remove live chats if it's going to get my fucking channel nuked. You know, if they're saying like, you know, stuff they can't. But this wasn't that. It was like talking about, yeah, there should be a formal investigation. Yeah, you should be looking at this stuff. You know, it was stuff that would have been anti-Angela for sure, but shouldn't have been removed, you know, from a live stream function. To me, that's always been. And she's done that before, so it doesn't surprise me.
She used to do it in the state. She used to do it, or she used to have people. I don't know if they still do it now, but they used to remove comments in the state organizers chat. That's why people stopped. That's why you can't have active discourse in the Mises.
That's the first time I noticed something was fucked up. Is I had written something during California and saying, "Hey, people really need to make sure you get your Mises people out because it seems like people are demoralized after the takeover. They think all the work is done or something." I look back 2 seconds later, my comment was gone, and I know that was Kat.
And if you said anything about Rechenwald not being a prime candidate, that was removed. If you questioned anything about, because we didn't have the numbers, right? So if you questioned the numbers or what would happen in DC, that was removed because apparently it was deemed harmful to morale to tell the truth. And actually, instead of amping up your base, you're just silencing people and saying like, this doesn't happen. Don't look behind the curtain. Just look here. And so that was always an ongoing thing. And it was, I'd get DMs from state organizers all the time, and it was funny. And they knew that. I'll never say who they were and stuff. There was one, I forgot what comment it was, but it was shortly before I got removed permanently. But it was, I got like 10 or 15 DMs by different state organizers saying like, thank you so much for saying that. I totally agree. I don't know, like, I don't want to get kicked out. That's why I'm not going to. It was so
weird. Why don't they just say something? It's
kicked out because, like, remember.
Well, I'll just tell you, you'll just get removed. I've witnessed this. I witnessed this with a bunch of the people that are now in the ALC, that had this exact thing. The American Liberty Caucus whole thing. A lot of those guys are guys who I watched speak up in a Discord, were literally drug out of there, removed from everything, stripped as being organizers, and told hit the road.
I think this is the funny part about this whole thing. It's that the reason that they're so afraid of being removed is because the Mises Caucus was pitched as like the cool kids in the Libertarian Party. But newsflash, that was the case at one point. But now there are no cool kids. Everyone is just stupid, and they're all like drilling into a cup. They're just eating different brands of glue. That's where we're at now.
We're all
the cool kids are right here.
The cool kids are right here. Unironically, there are a few in there that are kind of like hanging out. Not Vincent. but like others, right? And so you have to.
I still have access. I have not been banned yet.
Well,
Not
Elmer's
yet.
glue. Elmer's glue is classic. It does taste the best.
Anywhere where Halafka is where the cool kids are.
But that's why
Yeah.
that's why we are where we are. It's that you're squashing dissent if someone doesn't agree with you, and it's just really funny because like I still have, obviously I'm chair of the Mises Caucus for California, and well, we're dissolving that soon. But in our Discord, I had some people in there that would be like disagreeing with me or whatever, and someone would ask me on the side like, "Are you just gonna let him like?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't care." I slapped him down, and I just said like, "Oh, I didn't realize that you were like mentally ill or whatever." Oh, Craig.
That was a good one.
And so all this stuff, right? And I was just like, no, I'll just argue with them and then just stop responding or stop. I don't need to like boot people that I disagree with or who disagree with me.
Sure.
I don't see that.
You just call them faggots and retarded, and you see if they stick around.
Well, yeah. Everyone else can see the stupidity play out in real time, right? Like let everyone else decide and see this for what it is. I don't need to call it out. Like it's pretty obvious. And I have the cream of the crop, which is why I never had leaks in California or any of that. So
yeah,
I mean, it's one of those things where it's just kind of funny.
I will say maybe Mitch and Tim and Josh can back me up on this a little bit. Florida, we kind of stuck to our own because we had our own Mises Discord. We really didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the national Discord.
No, because you guys did what we did in California. You started your own. You made it an independent path.
You know what's funny about that? It was at the direction of Angela McArdle.
Angela, I know.
Oh no way! Same as
Johnson told me.
But I will say towards the JFC era where everyone was bickering about that, National didn't really take a stance on it. And then we had some dissent within our own state organizers where they cost us a lot of money. And we had to go to National and they were like, well, it's actually, nationally we're taking a stance that, we can join the GFC, but states can choose. And we're like, hey, how about you fucking be a man and take a stance here because we have two people who are at the time helping Caryn Ann out and not wanting the GFC. Johnson, and Josh, a non-Mises guy, me and a couple other people had to go, hey, Josh is an agent for us. He's the chair, and he got us about $26,000. But we never got that because they voted against it.
Well, everyone, I don't want to feel...
Real quickly. And one of the reasons why I'm leaving the Libertarian Party is because of the fucking excuses I got.
Whoa, you can't just drop that.
Wait, listen, I've been saying it all the time. Are you kidding me?
Mitch has been saying that. I heard that from Mitch.
Let the man speak.
This is nothing new.
Let the man speak.
Mitch, wait, maybe he put that in the emo caucus first.
Mitch, put your girly drink down and finish your thought.
It's a Coors, my good sir. But
I know what I said.
Silver bullet, motherfucker. No. It's like the fucking excuses I heard from people as to why they voted that way too. I'm just like, you people are all fucking retarded.
I want to hear some of the reasons, Mitch. Tell me, Mitch. I want to hear, as the person who orchestrated the JFC, the most evil person in LPF history. The man with the most dishonorable reputation of ruining the LP
you
forever.
Don't follow the rules. You don't follow the procedure. You don't follow the process. Oh my God, are you not obeying the rules? Oh my God.
I don't mean to block your face, but that was appropriate. Yeah.
What? Well, look,
I'm not putting on the MAGA hat.
Mitch, I have a solution for you. It's just announced today that Elon Musk is starting the American Liberty Party.
Yeah, me and Josh have
been trolling the official
each other
name?
back and forth about that.
I think it is the official name. I don't know for sure. But you know what? I don't want to paraphrase a former LNC chair. I've been in talks with Mr. Musk for months now, and
lies.
He needs a new chair, and there's a big announcement coming soon. You'll probably see about 10 more tweets about a big announcement, and then me announcing the announcement. So just be on
piece of shit. Stop pushing your shit.
I'm sure this is all totally real. Just like the American Liberty Party is going to happen, just like how Trump is also going to deport Elon.
Look, if I have to resign from the LNC or I get removed at some point, it's going to be because I have this job lined up with the American Liberty Party.
I see what you're doing. Okay.
And I'm going to need people here.
But if that doesn't happen, I'll just become chair of the Mises Caucus instead.
So it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So don't worry about it. Don't worry. Oh, is it America Party? I don't remember what it is. It's like American. Liberty's in the name, I want to say.
Well,
do that.
I saw.
Party, American Liberty Party.
So
No,
they're just saying the
being
American Party. What happened is now you have libertarians trying to sell to Elon. Just buy the Libertarian Party and call it the American Party. Basically,
being libertarian.
Party.
Being libertarian had a big post earlier that said name it the American Liberty Party, but that wasn't Elon. That was them saying it.
It's just the American Party.
I mean, that's not going to work because of all. I mean, all the comments and or all the chats are 100% right. Like, I mean, at this point, the LNC and
the Malagon, that was 100%.
Well, like, look, my job
is Magalon, actually.
My job as a fiduciary of this organization is to make sure that it still survives, at least a convention. I don't know if we will, TBD on that. But I do think that we need an entire. I think we need something new. Because like buying this and rebranding it, like if Tesla were to buy Chevy and rebrand it, like Chevy still suck. Like it's not going to do anything, right?
I literally drive a Chevy.
I know, that's why I said that. So the thing is that you have to this whole thing needs to burn to the ground. Like someone said, how do you end all the stupidity or whatever earlier? Well, like, you know, JF or RFK Jr. is working on that now. I mean, it took him going to 2 libertarian conventions to want to cure autism. What does that tell you? Now he wants to eradicate autism. And I can't say that I really blame him. This isn't.
You know how bad Caryn Ann was when he did that, by the way?
So, Tim, can you bring up that tweet from Angela here today?
Oh, yeah.
It was recent, talking about blowing up the LP. I want to bring that up, and I want to get everybody's opinion on that, because it basically was sort of what you were just saying.
God, she's just
but I'm asking this
for once we're all in United. Let's do it.
Well, I want to see what the tweet is first, but I'm just going to say that the biggest problem in this party, I think that the biggest problem in this party right now is that, I mean, Craig's right. Yeah, if you're paying for more than $1.50 for the LP, you're overpaying massively. We just don't have the quality because we've turned all the quality away. Think about the LP. This is the biggest problem with the LP. And it does serve a purpose, mind you. I think it should still exist, and I'll tell you why. The LP exists because it attracts all of the worst people.
As like a filter to keep everybody out.
It's a filter. No, I'm not kidding. It's a filter to keep everyone else, to keep them at bay, so that people like Lynn Albright, so that Spike Cohen, Maj Touré, all these people that started their own nonprofits and started doing stuff to actually advance liberty are unencumbered by stupidity and like massive retardation. That's why LP exists, because you have all these people who do nothing, who quibble over bylaws and quibble over titles and positions that don't matter because they're all volunteer, and they get 3 people at their county meetup and they have a beer and they've solved everyone's problems. Like America's going to be saved, right? You get those people out of the way and busy doing their own stupid stuff. And you have everyone else that's actually doing the work, able to do the work without any sort of like encumbrance by these other people. So the LP does serve a purpose. And I think that that's what it is. I've come to realize that anyway.
And it's funny you bring that up, because a few days ago, I was talking with someone saying that I'm glad Blue Sky exists, because if it didn't exist, then all those shitty leftists would come back to Twitter.
That's a really good point.
And that's basically the same thing what you just described there.
I think that there's something to it. And people, of course, are going to be crying later. Like, how can an LNC member say this? I mean, just look at yourselves. The fact that you're crying about that and you don't understand this very basic reality. We punish people with abilities and professional acumen because they say mean things, but we parade around people and we put them on pedestals. They have like this magical lore about them. If they have pink hair, or if they dress in a thong, or get nude at convention, or do whatever, that's not a recipe for success. What you do in your own private life, I had a post about this the other day about what it means to be professional in the Libertarian Party. Being mean has always been part of political culture. This goes back to at least the Greeks. I mean, they always had quips about each other. Winston Churchill was infamous for his quips. So was Marcus Aurelius, whatever. And
are you comparing yourself to these people?
No, I'm much smarter and better than them. So,
he's more like Emperor Hirohito.
I'm more like Hirohito. But the thing is that, like,
I said what I said.
We do, but we still have to play the game. Like, if you want to be taken seriously by people, we're not trying to convince our own people, right? Libertarians are libertarians. We have to convince people that are outside of our sphere. You can only do that if you look like a normal person. There's no easier way to pitch something than to look like that person. Like, be a normal person, wear a jacket, wear khakis, wear a suit and tie, whatever, depending on your audience that you're playing to. Ron Paul did this very well. He had the same speech, but he had a different speech when he went to New Hampshire than when he went to Vermont. It was the same message, but he tailored it differently because he needed those people's support and votes. How have we not learned this? We praise Ron Paul all the time, but we can't actually learn this very basic concept. And that's because most people in the LP, about 80% of them, they're not pro-liberty. They're anti-authoritarian, and those are two wildly different things. So, I mean, just think about that. They're not pro-liberty. They're just anti-authority. So anyone that tells them what to do, even if you've agreed to this, I know, screw you, I'm not going to do it, fuck off, whatever. And that's a problem. That's why we can't get anything done, because we're so afraid of having someone competent that's willing to tell X, Y, or Z, what to do. And this is a very tall order that Steve Nikela has undertaken. And I feel bad for him. Like, it sucks that he's in his position right now. He took over a party that's barely hanging on by a thread, and he gets shit on constantly. And that's not, I don't envy his position at all. It's a terrible one. And even if you were to be the best chair ever and have the best ideas and have all the money, I don't think that it would matter. I mean, we have a culture problem within the LP. And that's never going to change unless these people leave or die. And guess what? They're not going to leave anytime soon. And COVID wasn't the virus that we were promised. So they're probably not going to die anytime soon either. So this is where we're at. So American Liberty Party, Elon, if you're listening, if you need a chair, if you get deported, as was promised earlier today, you're going to need a chair to spearhead this thing. And
did Trump say he's going to deport Elon?
That's what I heard.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
How am I missing?
He said he's going to look into it.
I mean, while we're not covering news, apparently they're trying to take away citizenship from American citizens as well. I saw something tweeted out about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. It's not going to happen.
We're taking his citizenship, we're dosing his fucking companies, and we're sending them back to Africa.
Here, I want to pull this up because
actually, really quickly before we do this tweet, turtlenecks are poggers. Said something very important. This includes irrelevant, lazy activists. That's very, very true. So we have this really, really backward culture in the LP where we think that activists are leaders, and that's not the same thing. And even the activists aren't activists. Like, they put on a protest. Okay, great. Who cares? What did you do to change anything? Now, there are some activists that are really good with legislation and doing stuff on the grounds in their local communities. But 9 out of 10 libertarians, when they're like, I
stood on a street corner and I yelled at traffic. Okay?
That's what they'll say unironically, and they'll say it just like that. And then they expect you to, like, throw them a parade and buy them a drink. It's amazing to me. So
I do activism every time I show up looking pretty at a convention.
That is true, because it's good PR. We
not looking like this. Anyway.
Hey, somebody said I looked like Kaylee Cuoco was going to rehab, and I stand by that.
I don't know who that is, but that's terrible.
That's the Big Bang Theory girl, the blonde.
I still don't know who that is, but it's terrible.
All right, let's read this tweet. I want to see it because I haven't seen it yet.
All right. Would like to see the Liberty. Make it bigger. I've tried. Surgery hasn't advanced this far.
That's what she said.
From Angela McArdle.
Yes. Would like to see the Libertarian Party gutted and transformed into something viable. Ballot access and institutional knowledge of election law are incredibly difficult to successfully obtain. There was another one by her. I don't think I grabbed the right one.
It makes no sense to recreate the wheel with a high risk of failure when you can just thrift shop for a third party and then rebrand it. So she's inviting more of the Elon types.
Well, right, but that's spoken like someone that obviously doesn't understand how business works. You can't rebrand.
I got another one.
I agree with you right there, Adrian. And then she's also in the replies of all these tweets basically saying shit I would qualify as being pretty fucking wild and stuff that you would be willing to strip from the LP.
Gut the Empire Party, comment or rebrand, and gut the whole degenerate drug bullshit while we're at it. The party is the way exactly because of a lack of morals, spineless and cowardly. Yes. Is that the reply you're talking about?
Yes. In a way.
Who has more? Angel doesn't have fucking morals. What are you talking
I mean,
about?
are we not anti-drug war here? That's like why.
That's literally yes. That's
not anymore.
Arguing here. That's exactly the point I'm making here. What is that statement? Why would you say yes to that? You fucking idiot.
Well, I mean, no.
Why? I can tell you why.
Sure, go ahead. I'm
Would
pulling up another
Adrian
one.
like to go though, since he was trying to
Well,
speak?
no, I mean, I was going to say, I think like people think that Angela's smarter than she actually is. She's not that bright. I don't think that she read into the drug war, issue here being a thing. But of course, the correct answer is what Ron Paul's, and Jeremy Kaufman has talked about this ad nauseum, and people just don't like him or whatever. But he's 100% correct. Just because you're okay with something doesn't mean that you don't. That doesn't mean that you celebrate it. Right? I mean, Thomas Aquinas talks about this in the Summa. Some of the greatest theologians of all time have talked about being tolerant of vices and things that you would consider to be immoral, because that's essential to a free society. Do things because you love God, not because you fear punishment from the state. And that's a very libertarian position. We don't
that
have
is the libertarian position in my point of view.
Yeah,
so
we don't have to celebrate drug use, but it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that we have to like incarcerate people for it. Those are two wildly different things. And that goes for a lot of things. So I just think that she didn't understand what that comment meant. She just saw someone that agreed with her and she just said, yeah. I mean, I've been with her when she's on Twitter and stuff. She just sees something and she's like, yes, or she liked because it gets her more engagement or whatever. But she's not as bright as people think that she is. I mean,
I just saw this in the slew of all the people calling for Elon to come over and basically take the party over, and then I saw her chiming in, and I was like, "Oh, God damn it! Like, what are we doing here?"
Remember, you have to think about everything that Angela's been tweeting since at least her resignation. So since January 20th, it's all still this really Hail Mary shot in the dark. This is a long interview for her. She still thinks. I mean, anyone that thinks, let's look at this logically. She told all the Mises people, and she said unironically that she hasn't gotten this job yet, this elusive job that never existed, but she hasn't gotten it yet because the Trump administration is making budget cuts, and this is what you voted for, right? He just passed the whole bill. Are we serious about budget cuts?
We were there.
We can't spare. We're sending billions of dollars in foreign aid, but we can't spare like $60,000 for some like mediocre person that's going to get coffee for people. Are you serious? That doesn't even make sense. Make it make sense.
I don't know what that is that you're showing us.
And I mean,
it's
Trump
happening.
Trump,
Ron Paul, it's happening. GIF.
Trump used the Libertarian Party to get the votes. That's obvious what happened now, and I think he used Angela as a part of that, and it sucks, but he did. And even like I was listening to,
that's obviously what he did.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If you let me finish my point, I think Thomas Massey said in his podcast with Theo Vaughn, he even had a conversation with Thomas Massey. He said, Thomas, the Libertarians, they loved it. I freed Ross Ulbricht. They'll vote for us forever.
No, he said that guy. He said that.
Yeah, he said that kid who's been in jail for 100 years.
Who's been in prison.
Yes. So the
name.
big issue, the big leverage issue, he really doesn't even know the guy's name. Doesn't even know Ross Ulbricht's name.
But not only that, I mean, listen, like the whole idea that we had leverage. How is that leverage?
No, but Rob is half correct. He is right here. But the problem is that Angela's making it seem like she was used more than she actually was. She wasn't used as much. She's still telling people that she's talking to like people in the administration. I'll tell you right now, they're not taking her calls. They're busy with like real stuff, whether we like it or not, whether we agree with it or not. And the reality here is that Trump didn't just, yes, he did. It was easy for him because it was in DC. It was just it was right there for him. Like, why wouldn't you go? Whatever. And he was like an hour and a half late, but he was at a different rally and doing his stuff. But he also needed Catholics. Libertarians weren't enough. He got it because of libertarians and Catholics. He made promises to both, and that was enough. And we leveraged it to a certain extent. But I mean, obviously, he got more out of it. But the reality is that she's still trying. This is why she's still unapologetically talking about how great it was, even though it hasn't turned out to be particularly great. You could argue that the other option was still far worse and we'd be in a far worse position. And there's merit to that argument, but I'm not really sure at this point. But that's the funny thing, is that she still would rather, instead of just taking the L and saying, I didn't really have a lot to do with this whole thing, and this was kind of just something that got out of hand, because I was there for this stuff at the beginning. Like, I know how this initially went down. And, it's just really funny that she would rather pretend to have been used by the Trump administration because somehow that's greater clout for her than to just admitting what actually happened. But it's a lose-lose for her in this case anyway, because this is the position that she's put herself in. And I don't feel bad for her.
Yeah, I don't doubt that federal hiring is on a freeze right now, but I also don't believe that she ever had a job lined up.
Correct.
No.
I mean, look, I honestly, like, okay, This is what I believe happened, and in certain cases, just based off talking with her and how this like kind of worked out. Like there was a time where, I mean, I was very close with the Kennedy campaign, and they were talking to me all the time. And at some point in time, the campaign—I'm not going to say their name—but the campaign manager for the Kennedy camp, when he was still running for POTUS, said, "You know, you bring a lot to the table. I'd love to have a conversation when this is done." You know, and he wins the White House, right? He has a path when he wins about another role for you. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm flattered. I'd consider it. I mean, I have a good job and it's, you know, whatever, and it's paying well, but I would consider something like that. And that would be really cool to do something that you're passionate about and that you're good at. But I took it at that, you know, it was just that. And that call happened a few times, and I never got a call back. Nothing ever happened. I'm not with HHS. I'm not doing anything. But it's like that stuff like that happens all the time. These people are in the political sphere. You lie all the time in the political sphere. They tell you what you think you want to hear and do whatever. The difference
They use you. They use you, abuse you, and throw you aside. Right, Meredith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the biggest difference between me and Angela. It's that I already had a good paying job. I'm good at what I do. I get paid well for what I do. I get 6 figures for what I do. She needs this to work out because she's never had a stable petty job, like a stable paying job. And this is why she was just siphoning funds from the LNC. I mean, $50,000 is such a small amount. I mean, it's not
allegedly.
I wouldn't get out of bed for that.
That's not something that I mean, that you don't get out of bed for $50,000 if you're a functioning adult. But for her, it was like a lot of money, right?
And do a lot of things for $50,000. I don't know about you. 50 grand is 50 grand, okay?
Yeah, inflation's hitting California super hard. It's fucking crazy
Yeah.
for 50K right now, dude.
That's like $3 in California money.
Yeah.
What do I got to do? I got to say what? I got to say vote Trump and I get 50K? I'll do it.
Yeah, that's different. I mean, I think a
If
lot of
I'm going to embezzle, it's going to be a lot more than $50,000.
The party doesn't have that much, okay? You could take.
That's what I'm saying. Like there are people that have done like.
I would just take the whole bank account and run.
And it wasn't 50; it was 600. Went to the freedom thing.
Yeah, but
600.
that actually might have been legit.
There were legitimate transactions. The report covers all this. There were legitimate transactions that were poorly reported. Shocker. There's a difference between Angela derangement syndrome and the truth. There are people that will never believe. There are still people, unironically, that believe that the Filipino callers were actually her. I can tell you, as the one who did the audit, that's not true. There are also people that think that they just added all the numbers together and they're like, she embezzled $1 million. That's not true. Well, there's probably more than the $50,000 that we don't know about. And there are other things, right? I'm sure that we don't know about. We'll never know. But what we know for sure is that this freedom call thing was real and that she did it. Did she break the law? It's hard to technically speaking, yes, she did break DC corporate law, and that is problematic. And, you know, as Meredith or Vincent will be the first to tell you, it's up to a DA to decide whether they want to prosecute. And like most people don't get out of bed for $50,000. I'm sorry. That's just not something that may ever come to fruition, and it is what it is, and it sucks. And all we can do is just say,
I'd say if I was a DC prosecutor, it'd be a slow fucking year in the office for me.
I mean, that's not even a rounding error for most of those people. Everyone, you know, the Pentagon always fails an audit, and it's in billions of dollars, and it's a rounding error for the most part, right? So they're not going to get out of bed for $50,000 for a party that's an absolute joke. There's nothing to win or there's nothing to gain for them here. There are no points to be scored. There's nothing. I mean, it doesn't help the situation. It's unfortunate, but it is the reality of the situation, and it is what it is. But like, they're not going to care about some like poor white chick from Texas who, you know, is like skating by. And
she's a Cali girl. Okay, don't take that from her.
And also, I mean,
she's born and raised in Texas. She moved to California and then she went back.
I don't want her to go to jail. She has a young kid.
I don't want that either. She has a child. I don't know if she's married to Austin or if they're still just engaged or what the deal is, but like she has a child. Like I would never want to see her imprisoned for such a small amount of money. Like, should there be a consequence? She should be asked to pay.
She should just pay us back. Yeah.
Have to pay it back. If she ever gets wages, they should be garnished and she should have to pay us back. But do I think that she should be in prison? Absolutely not. I don't believe that that's the remedy for that. She is still like, it is not her child's fault. Her child is adorable and like a really well-behaved, well-mannered.
Yeah, Arthur, he's cool.
He's so cute, and he's like very well-behaved too.
Yeah, put my daughter to shame.
Fuck your daughter, man.
Hey, don't say that. She's 6. You pedophile. No, I'm sorry. That was too
I
far.
was fucked when I was 6. It's fine.
What? Okay. Anyway.
I'm gonna come.
No. No.
No.
Bring the Hank Hill one in. Bring the Hank Hill thing. Bring the Hank Hill.
You got to unmute Leighton if you're gonna make bad jokes. Sorry.
Do not come. Do not come.
Yeah, I don't have
Need the
that
Kamala
one.
We don't need to.
Vincent, you keep saying allegedly. Did you not read? Have you not read the report yet? It's all in black and white.
You still haven't read it, Vincent?
I still haven't read the
Of course
report.
he hasn't.
But I did get a call. I did get a call from someone who was advocating for Angela, and I'm like,
what did Austin Martin say?
Sound good. Sound smart.
It wasn't Austin. It wasn't Austin.
What did Chatterton
Okay,
say?
so what did Chatterton say?
It wasn't Chatterton.
Bite.
It wasn't Chatterton. It wasn't anyone
What
on
did
the
Angela
LNC.
say in between?
Wasn't Angela.
It was
What did
nobody
Zach
on the
say?
Guys
island.
are so cold.
Mitch knows who it is. Mitch knows who it is.
All right,
but-
I'm right.
What did,
who was
Cat McElroy say in between suing me for a TR?
No, I don't talk to Cat
cold.
like that. I don't talk to
What
Cat
did
like
Zach
that.
Tatum
It was.
say?
I would tell you.
Getting
And,
colder.
but you know what? It's just like the amount of
Oh,
stretching.
what did Hector Roos say?
Boom, bing, 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 bing.
Bing bong.
You're red hot.
Or as Adrian's people would say, you are correct. But no, I mean, like, Hector made his points as Hector does, and I'm like, there's a lot of stretching involved there. At the very least, what she could have done was disclose, and that's all she was required to do.
Look,
at
Hector's
the end of the day.
I've already talked to him about it, and I've never said something to Hector that I wouldn't say about him and that I've said publicly. Like, he's just incredibly wrong. He clearly did
He's
not.
very wrong, and I'm sorry,
He doesn't
Hector.
understand the report. I like Hector, but
was
he
here earlier.
really took the pooch on this one. He doesn't understand.
He was saying something like, you guys, like, even, made the font, like, size 10 or 11 to make the report
Oh no, yeah, that's what he
shorter
was
than
trying to
it
say.
was.
He was saying, well, first of all, neither Adrian nor I were on the committee, but he was saying that it would have been 160 pages had it been normal font or something like that.
Yes.
But that's not how that works.
And
No,
also,
I did have a
party.
problem with how rushed it was because I was at the Florida
But
convention
you
with
still
Steven.
haven't read it, though.
But
Johnson,
it doesn't matter.
the
The vote's gone. There's no point in me reading it whenever I have to read
You don't
shit
wanna
every
know?
single day. No, I'll look at it in time, but it's already done. It's already done. There's no reason for me to look at it. The
Vincent,
vote's already cast.
Vincent, I have
Rob
a
is
real
running
question.
away from this
Hold on,
fucking
I have a
like,
real
conversation.
question. I have a 100% serious question.
I'm not
How-
running away. I'm just saying there's no point in me looking at it right now.
How is it that Matt Johnson, who was chairing convention, had time to read it and you didn't?
Because Matt lives right next to where convention was. Matt actually lives in Daytona,
That's
where
fair.
convention was,
Yeah,
and I had
Rob
to drive
lives in the
back
bump
seven
fuck nowhere,
hours
Florida.
to Pensacola.
And he woke up late, that son of a bitch. He was supposed to meet me there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
big,
Rob,
fat,
don't you live
fucking
in like
lazy
Floribama,
bastard.
technically?
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Pence
This
to
is
Tucker.
Alabama.
Yeah.
But I will say, Roos's criticisms of the whole thing are they none of them have merit. I read his review.
Whoa.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Also,
he has it on the
he's
he has a
volunteer for
Substack.
Angela's.
All right,
He's
we
a
gotta
volunteer for Angela's new organization too.
Right.
we gotta do some things here. First up, Joey, $20, big drinks, ladies. Everybody take
Whoa.
that. And then here's another one. This one caught me off guard. 5 gifted memberships from El Barfo. The rules are the
Hey,
rules
can I have
are
one?
no. The rules are that if you get it's not decided by me. If
It's not
the
how
rules
it
are
works.
if you get a gifted membership, you owe that person a drink. So 5 people, you know who you
I'll
are.
buy you a drink.
You owe Barfo a drink.
I'll buy you 2 drinks, Barfo.
Listen,
Why
if you
would you want an LP membership? I'm curious as to why he gave people
Wait,
membership.
no, I thought it was membership to the channel.
Also,
no, it is
Barfo.
membership to the channel.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
fuck,
makes
that,
sense.
fuck the LP. We give you the money. Give me the money.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah, we
I
want
was
the money,
Give
not
me
you.
money.
I
Also-
was definitely really questioning El Barfo's intelligence, and now that's on me. That's my bad. The money to this show is way better spent.
Don't
way
ever
more-
question the boat again in my presence. Okay.
Hey,
I will
El
never.
Barfo was also one of those people whose comments you were deleting at that Rhode Island meeting, Adrian. You
That's
should say sorry.
Yeah, you dirty bastard.
Yeah.
At least now he knows it wasn't me. That's tight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he knows now.
That's true.
Man, he must have thought it was such a dick this whole time, and then now he's like, "Oh, it wasn't you. That's right."
Oh, so everybody that just got a membership, I did apply. Who's in charge of like vetting the emails that go like the LNC list? You have to like register for the meeting. Who's in charge of approving those registrations?
It was Caryn Ann.
Secretary. Yeah.
So it's the secretary pro tem.
Oh, wait, I'm going to answer a quick question. Craig put something in the chat.
God, no, answer my question. Fuck him.
Wait,
what? Who's in charge? Who's in charge of vetting the people who register for the meetings? It's you now, right?
Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, you're talking LNC stuff?
Yes.
Oh, fuck, sorry. Yeah. Why?
Okay, so you have to approve us. So all the people that just got memberships, if you want to see what happens and hang out with us instead of watching that gay ass stream, you now have access to the Secret Swamp Show where we do things like that. Now, who did you want to answer, Craig? I want to know who gave $2,567 or whatever it was. What was that?
So he's talking about the report. So one of the most damning things about the report that was really actually disconcerting was that when there was an audit compared. So Zoho is our platform where we do, it's our CRM, right? And Kixie was the dialing software. So
what's up, John?
Hey, love that guy.
McGee.
Hey, tell him.
Rob.
Before I give McGee more shout outs.
Fuck you, Robert.
This is actually important. So so Zoho is our CRM for the LNC. Kixie was the auto dial software that we use. Now they are supposed to talk to each other, and they do when appropriately used, but we had to do a manual audit because the Filipino callers that were making that were making the calls and doing whatever, when they were sending links out, they weren't actually linked to anything. So we had to go through and check manual donations during this time frame. So from the time that they started in January 28th, 2024 to when the contract ended. And what had to be done was matching Zoho data with Kixie data manually to see if any donations could be traced during that time that dials were made per the dates and the times and all of that kind of stuff. So upon an audit, there was no one person that gave that amount. But if you do a cumulative adding up of the money that was given during that time and the calls, if you correlate them, a generous interpretation would be that it wasn't a complete net loss. There was at least that much money made, but most of those donations seem to have come from the LP store and other sources that had no direct correlation to. We gave the most generous interpretation possible when we correlated that data. So that at the most generous interpretation, the Filipino callers from Freedom Calls made $2,500 and whatever dollars.
67. Yeah.
67. But that's not that they made a surplus of that. They made only that, meaning that
only
there was
that.
a net loss.
It was still at best, it was still a net loss of about $46,000 or whatever.
47,600.
Which just doesn't work. It doesn't, like, and one of the things I was trying to explain to Roos, like, I do this stuff for a living. Like, I've always used dial software. I know how all this works, and I know what the expectations are. And Angela kept me in the dark for all of this stuff because she knew I knew how it worked. And I would have done a full audit per week. Like, how many dials are going out? How much money is coming in? Why can't we see how much money is coming in? What's going on? Putting aside the fact that Austin owned the company and all this stuff on the side, the fact that they weren't producing is a huge problem. And like, when you're on the brink of bankruptcy, you need to make sure that every asset makes sense. And she told us multiple times, I asked her,
I've cut everything I can cut.
What else can we cut from the budget? And she's like, there's nothing we can cut without losing functionality. And it's like, well, this was a pretty big one. $4,500 a month is a huge, huge one. And it just didn't make sense. Like none of the stuff adds up. And the thing with Angela that's unfortunate for her, really, it's that she's not a really good liar. Like she lies so much that she actually forgets where the lie starts or where the truth starts and the lie begins or ends. It's been an ongoing thing. I mean, it is what it is, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And this is why the caucus is in shambles and on the verge of collapse. I mean, this was actually the first vote. The vote against McGee was the first vote that you all voted in block. You didn't screw that one up. That was actually a plan for that one, and it
fucking Rob. I'm still so mad.
It took almost what, 4 months? But you guys finally figured out how to organize. That was wild to me. I was actually kind of impressed.
And for a vote to keep McGee of all people, he's like not even your enemy.
It's bound to. I know McGee, and you're not my enemy either, for what it's worth. But it's only a matter of time, because the alliance that you guys aligned with was Caryn Ann, Redpath, Keith Thompson. These guys, it's like, it was a friendship of what do you call it? Convenience. Yeah.
No, well, there is no alliance. So I just want to be clear right now.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just convenient.
We have 3 factions on the board right now. There's the MC faction that doesn't think before they act. You have the other faction
because you're being led by Chatterton
that also doesn't think before they act. And then you have 4 independent members that will always do what's best for the LNC and are trying to help Nikayla through this whole process. And those 4 members that are independent and truly wanting to do what's best for the LNC, 2 of them are on this call. Me and Meredith.
Oh shit! No,
you had Kathy and McGee, and we're doing everything that we can. There is no factional. If they give a good argument for why XYZ should happen, that's good. I drafted the social media motion for McWilliams. I put that, and you voted, and Nikayla sent it out. Okay, I did that because I think that's the best move. We need to have consistent messaging. We can't have the porcupine thing like messing up again and doing whatever. And I was very clear about that. So I'm saying I'm doing what's best for the LNC. We need to have consistent messaging. We need to like really, really lower the stupidity, and we need to like get stuff done. So if you guys are ever just not following orders and doing something that you're supposed to be doing and do it the right way, we're going to agree with that. That's fine. But and it's the same on the other side. It's a matter of who has the best idea, who could present it better. And at the end of the day, we're going to do what's best for the LNC. And there are times McGee, Hayes, and Kathy can all say, we don't all agree. And we're kind of like trying to sort it out. And we do a pros and cons thing as to what's better. But there's no alliance for convenience on either side or whatever. I'm not anti-you just because you're you. If you have, if you were to say the sky is blue today, I'm not going to be like, oh, Rob's so stupid. It's clearly green. That's
unless I convinced you that you were colorblind.
Which I could be. I don't know. Fuck now.
all men are colorblind.
No, you say that until you get to whatever the arguments are, and then you have to deal with pleasing, I guess, the MC side, and then trying to talk to you guys, and it's almost like we've been dealing with this bullshit of like removing Caryn Ann, removing Angela. We haven't really gotten to do anything of substance.
Well, right.
Welcome to the fucking LNC. That's how it is.
And look, man, realistically, there's no substantive anything that can be done as long as Chatterton and Martin remain on this board. They're probably the 2 dumbest, most obstructionist people I've ever met. And that was on a board with Caryn Ann Harlos. Like, just like wrap your mind around that. That's wild.
I enjoy watching Martin. What was his name? Andrew Martin? Is that it? Austin Martin. There it is. I enjoy watching him just because of like, it's like this. It's one way or the other. He's either like super chill and laid back or super righteous indignation. There is no in between. It's one of the 2.
But it's like those should not be your speaking mouthpieces because you're not winning any favors or anything like that.
I'm here for the entertainment value.
Yeah, at the very least, you should make at the very least it should be you or Watkins or somebody speaking up, not those 2.
Yeah, like everyone likes you. Everyone likes people think boss.
Well, I'm very disappointed in Watkins just because he completely just like stopped talking.
That's the guy with the mustache.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I keep making this joke on my show about running for an LNC position because I think Alaskans should run for them because no one gives a fuck about us anyway.
But Leighton, you don't run at all, so what is that going to do?
I fucking lost more weight than you, fuck.
I would
that is
true. I would weigh my poundage against yours.
I would discourage you from running because people in Alaska are already wildly depressed. I think that this would kill you. I think this would legitimately.
That's a good shot.
Wait, isn't the best strip club in Alaska called like the Great Alaskan Bush Club or something?
The Bush Company.
The Bush Company. You get it right,
bitch. Sorry.
Where'd you get her? How do you know this?
Vincent,
how he knows.
Vincent, let me ask you a serious question, okay? Right now, okay, you remember you were here during my tenure as interim sec, right? You remember that?
Yes, Lord.
We talked about this earlier. It's Mr. Secretary to you. You know
yes, Mr. Secretary.
It was very
Secretary, you know what I'm saying?
Minutes were primed. The agenda was primed. The meetings went very smoothly. There
Oh
weren't.
yeah, I said that. It was amazing.
Oh, right. And you know who's not going to get it? Probably me, because the Mises Caucus would never allow that to happen. But I'm the most qualified person on this board. And there's another qualified person on this board that would also probably not get it because of Mises contingent, because you guys don't care. And I don't mean you guys, I mean like in the general you, not you specifically, don't care about what's best for the party. It's about whatever.
You just want to burn this shit down.
Adrian, I think if there was a vote to put you in as secretary, I would vote for you. John just needs to call me. John just needs to call me. That's all he needs to
do. His name is Jonathan. His name is
Listen, before I vote for you, I need my balls washed, okay? Somebody's going to wash my balls. It's either going to be you or it's going to be them. Who's going to wash my balls?
Someone's going to call me. And my thing is, because like he didn't text me back, and I live so close to John. I live so close to you. You're right here in Alabama, buddy. We could be friends. You know, you could lend me some of those slaves that you have bought over, since you look like an 1800s slave owner. That could be a thing. But you don't return my texts or calls.
Poor McGee, he can't use hair product right now because he's allergic.
Sean, I believe that Rob is going to be at the next national convention, and if that is the case, then we could actually do this.
Oh, are you talking about this? Who would win the 20-yard dash?
Let me exit full screen.
It's fine.
Leighton, you would get burned, son. I would burn you, dude. In a
What
is a 20-yard? What is a 20-yard dash?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's the bet. 20-yard dash.
That's how unathletic libertarians are. They don't know what a fucking 40-yard dash is. It's called a 40-yard
You're fat. It's 20. Okay, 20.
Hey guys, that's so.
Rob, do you know how I lost my 100 pounds?
Meredith, we asked
depression.
For your opinion. We asked for Rob
pure
and
cardio
to run like fat kids.
It was all cardio exercises. I literally walked and ran. That's how I did it.
Leighton, you're not faster than me, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
McGee
calling
Vincent out right now. Lies. Let's see phone records. Let's see it.
Do you ever call John?
I called him.
Can you stop calling him John? That's not his name.
It's
okay, Johnny.
Just call him McGee. Just only McGee.
It's just McGee. Like, I had to do that
McGee. Have you ever called
like,
butt fuck McGee?
Didn't even come to the porch tour. My last 2 messages didn't even fucking respond.
Dude, that was a month ago. Okay.
Oh my God, he did not. So he didn't call or message.
No, that was That was 2 months ago. And then let me see.
Mitch, you may be relieved here soon because I think Rob may be a bigger woman than you.
Yeah. You may earn your man card back, Mitch, and Rob will be the bitch of the show.
Well, when it comes down to voting, it just comes down to who's talking to me.
Who's gonna wash my balls? It's gonna. That's all it comes down to.
That's actually a really solid Trump impression, Tim. I'm impressed.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I've been drinking.
No, it's fun.
It's actually really good.
Jonathan McGee.
See,
didn't even call me. Didn't even pick up the phone. He could have picked up the phone, but he didn't because I call him John. Don't even want to say his full name because he's gay. That's why I don't do it.
Jonathan McGay, they should call him.
Rob is really good too. If Trump were a woman, that would work out real well.
But I'm not a woman. I'm not. Trump holds grudges.
Trump
is a woman.
President.
There we go.
Trump is our first woman president.
Do you have John McGee on the phone right now?
I have Jonathan McGee on the phone right now. What's going on, buddy?
Dude, do you want a link? DM me. Where is your shit?
Yeah, give him a link.
Get McGee up on here.
Johnny, can you hear them? Because I can Bluetooth you on, or you can just come on the show.
Johnny?
We want to watch him come on the show.
I know you're on the phone, but like
everything but his name.
Have Tim send you a link.
What am I supposed to call him?
Big John.
Also,
all right, Tim, send Jonathan McGee a link.
Yeah, send me
he
a
is also 5'4".
Do you have Tim on Discord?
Who would you want to be the chair of the MC, Adrian?
You have me on Discord, right?
While we're waiting,
I'm gonna send you a message on Discord.
I think that there are a good number of people that would be qualified, but that are no longer in the MC. And they would be some of the best people to chair the whole thing. But you'd have to clean house. The board is toxic. I mean, Honestly, I was asked if I would do it by a lot of people. I said no, not as things. First of all, they'd never have me, but I wouldn't do it as things stand now. Mac McFarland from Arizona, he's fantastic.
I was gonna say Mac.
Funkhauser, like there are so many talented people that have either just been booted or left. Corey Tallman's fantastic too from Arizona. There are a lot of people that have just like really talented people that know how to organize, that know how to do things, that aren't severely autistic, that have professional good jobs, that are very bright, that could run this thing and run it well.
There's a lot of qualified people, but I think a lot of them just fucked off.
Yeah, they did. That's the problem, is that you can.
No, or they got kicked out.
Fucked off.
Yeah,
I think I don't know. I may be just speaking from my own perspective,
I was kicked
but
out because I said after the Angela news came out, all I said was, I think you guys should, just wait till the facts come out and try to avoid black and white thinking, and I got kicked out for negativity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even in the late January meeting, January 26th, because I'm looking at me and Jonathan's messages right now. When
that's the last time you talked to him, fucking January. Jesus Christ.
On Discord, I tried to talk to him in April. He didn't want to talk to me, but I tried to talk to him. I tried to talk to him soon. He didn't talk to. But like, I was trying to get him on the Mises Caucus call. I've said this several times during.
You did,
our
yes,
show.
that is true.
Yeah,
and I tried to get the other members.
For as much as I dislike him, Mike Shaner was too, even though I dislike him very much.
Yeah, so why the Mises Caucus decided to kick like everyone who was on the LNC off that state organizers meeting is beyond me, and why they kept me and Chatterton and Watkins on there. And then they didn't want to talk about it. Austin was one of those guys who didn't want to talk
that is
about
fair.
it.
That is fair. You did actually do that, and I appreciate that, Rob.
Johnny's in the house.
Yeah, that
Can
was
you put a camera
up.
on? I don't like Meredith's fine. I don't want to look at her, but
no, his hair product's not in. He can't put the
Maybe
camera.
he has
on.
a black guy too.
He has a black guy too. That's right. That's right.
No, Jonathan has a lot of black guys because he's a slave owner from the 1800s. Isn't that true?
This will never air.
It's
your
it's
face is
right
never
now.
attached. Yeah, it's too late. We're fucked.
Plausible deniability.
I'm actually secretly a big black man.
There you go.
Yeah, he is.
That's why you have those slaves.
Oh my god.
How sad are you about not winning whatever position you were up for?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Your sadness? Oh.
Yeah, you broke his heart, Rob. Hear that?
Do you believe that you didn't get it because you didn't call Rob? McGee.
This is why we need your camera on. The silence.
Black guy's got his mouth.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
No, I'm not sad at
The
all.
slaves are rebelling right now. He's got to whip them into shape.
He's not sad at all. He's just disappointed.
I mean,
Oh, God, that's
you
the
know,
worst.
honestly, I guess I could have called Rob, and maybe that would have been the smarter thing to do. But at the end of the day, I don't take it personally. Like, really? Come on.
I take it personally.
Does
for
it
you.
actually matter that much?
Yeah,
It's
it's all Rob.
really-
Wow,
I
listen
blame
to John
Rob.
coming to Rob's defense. This is
And
crazy.
now I want to
Yeah.
change my vote. It's as simple as that. You could. That's all I needed
Right,
to
send
hear.
the email. Hold on, let me log in. Send the email. We'll read the comments.
Well,
Look,
you're here
look.
right now. Yeah.
Look,
I changed my
look,
vote.
Look, I can redo the vote because it's fine because you didn't know that he hadn't called you. I'm sure there's a bylaws provision for this. I'll make one up. It'll be fine. My predecessor used to do it all the time. We'll figure something out.
Okay.
It's okay because the bylaws make it clear that you need to make sure you don't hurt someone's feelings because they call you first.
Right. Caryn Ann is all about
Hey.
personal phone calls.
Adrian,
That's right.
Even-
Yeah.
even more.
You should know.
important,
You should
Caryn
know
Ann
as a
already
lawyer.
gave
You
you
should
the
pick
out.
up the phone.
Hang
Wait,
on,
what's that?
let the host go for a second.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Caryn Ann already said it herself that you're allowed to do the wrong things as long as they're for the right reasons, Adrian. So
I'm sorry. You need to
you're
send
doing
all
the
this
right
to my
thing.
personal
Keep
email.
being bad.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
please send all requests to my personal email. Have a good day.
No, it's just good day.
Oh,
Not
good
have a
day. It's not have a good. No, she told me
Hey,
to have
everyone,
a
I'm
good
gonna
day.
hop off. I got to get ready for work. Everything. Have a
ladies.
good
Good
night.
night, ladies.
And
Libertarian
take
with
it
a
easy.
job. You're not a real libertarian.
You go make sure those 5 people in that hotel are
I'm a night
well
auditor.
served.
You go
Take it
audit
easy.
those
Thank you,
5
guys.
people.
Say
with
Yeah,
that.
we'll
hello
see
to
you,
the
man.
ladies at the
Chat.
Alaskan Bush
See ya.
Company for me.
Hey, go watch the latest Outlaw Thoughts with me, Leighton, and Toad. It was a
For
great
the
time.
record,
Yeah.
both Leighton and Rob would beat Chatterton. That wasn't on
And-
the table, but I just want to make that very clear.
We can make this happen. We can make this happen.
And
Okay?
anyone who's
I challenged Chatterton to a wrestling fight.
Before Leighton leaves, who's everybody's bets on? Rob, Leighton, and Chatterton. 40-yard race. Who wins?
40. I go Rob.
If it's a
40?
40, it's probably Rob, and a 20, I think I can get Rob.
Oh, okay. We'll
It's not
draw the
like
line at
I
I
thought
20.
it was a 20.
I was on the track
So-
team. I played football. Like, what are we talking about?
I
Wait,
played
Tim.
football, you too, you
Yeah.
fuck.
We'll go 20. What's
in
up?
Alaska, I played in Florida with
I would also
blacks.
go
What are
Rob.
you talking about?
Well, I have a question. Just
I played
is it a
with
straight? Like,
Samoans.
are there obstacles? Is there food there somewhere? Like, what's the deal?
We can provide distractions. We can do that. Yeah.
Now,
Leighton,
there's
consider that.
distractions.
I am the underdog here, certainly.
I go with the
But-
underdog.
okay.
Rocky, Rudy, I'm in.
You know what? I have to. If we're going 40 yards, I got to go with Rob here because I wasn't expecting.
All right,
that.
but we'll go 20 because Leighton says he can take him. It
20,
has to be a
Leighton.
challenge.
I am
Yeah,
I think 20
I'm-
is a
I'm
better
going all
shot
in
towards
on
me.
Like all in on Leighton.
Wow, Rob getting fucking shafted here.
Listen, I'm gonna go with Rob on this one, but that's only because I'm also currently rooting for Leighton in the Biggest Losers contest on Legion of Skanks.
Yes.
So you
yes,
want to
I am.
spread your
Yes,
bets?
Filming
Okay.
my round
Yes, I
2
gotta
video
spread out the
tomorrow
bets.
morning.
Nice.
You know, you
Can't
never
wait.
lose a bet if you bet on all the horses. That's true.
If you bet on black and red, you always win.
That's true. Well,
Unless
not
it hits
always.
0.
Unless it falls on green.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll find out because we will be there for episode 200. It'll be fun.
I want to see it. I want to see it live. We'll place bets. All proceeds go to Freedom Calls LLC.
No,
Oh.
fuck you. No,
No,
Loser has to eat a Pocky chip. How about that, Leighton?
we gotta get like 10 hockey
I
chips.
can crush Pocky chips. Those one death challenge ones, I can destroy those things. yeah.
Multiple. Oh my god.
No, we
Yes.
need to get like
I-
10. There's so many pocky chip bets.
I keep them both for alcohol.
There you go. All right,
Focus
Leighton,
on
have
the
fun at
election.
work.
All right. Challenge is set. See you guys. Deuces.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Liam.
All right. Now that fat fuck's gone.
Formerly.
Wait, is he actually on Legion of Skanks' Biggest Loser?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
made it to the second round. Him and
Him
Toad.
and
Nice.
Toad. Him and Toad.
Yeah.
Oh, and Toad did too.
Yep.
Yeah. gonna
Toad's
be
not
good.
that fat.
It's
Well,
not
he
about
is a
being
loser.
fat.
Like
It's
a
about
loser.
being a loser.
yeah,
No.
I can't think of a bigger loser than Toad.
It's
I don't
gonna
know,
be good,
Leighton
man.
seems to have it on lock.
I haven't listened to Legion of Skanks in a long time. I used to be
Leighton
like a
will
diehard.
win the golden ticket. That is.
I like Cheddar's logic here. In the right breeze, Leighton might win. He has a sail.
That's true.
Is Leighton, how tall is Leighton?
That's true.
Is Leighton taller than Rob?
Yeah.
Yes.
Way
Yeah,
taller.
he's taller than Rob.
Everyone on this call is taller than Rob.
My left nut is taller than Rob.
That's
Well, I'm
true.
just wondering because then
That's the
the
lower
leg
hanging
length you
one.
do have to figure for the length of the stride.
We may need a special Libertarian Olympics in Grand Rapids. Yes, absolutely. And you
A
will
special-
you will host it
Olympics.
as the host delegate.
Guys,
Has to
I'm
be-
pretty confident I would wreck like 3/4 of all libertarians in any athletic competition.
Okay, first of
Rob,
all,
you run
What?
like fucking Yoshi. Shut up.
wait. First of all,
Give me a run, you piece of shit.
hold on. What are we talking about?
Mario hops on Yoshi to be faster, so fuck you.
Here?
Yeah,
Holding,
but you fucking.
holding an Olympic event in Chatterton's home state is just cruel. Are we serious?
Bet.
Yeah, he can do it. Come on.
Is it an eating? If it's a pie eating contest, that's different than an Olympic sport.
That'll be part of
we
it.
can
We gotta
put
even it
pie
out.
at
We
the
gotta
end
even
with
it out.
her.
No. Glizzy eating contest. We gotta go.
Oh.
What's a glizzy? It's a Costco hot dog. It's a what is it? A quarter pound beef hot
It's
dog?
just a regular
Big
hot
ass
dog.
hot dog.
It's
just
a
regular
quarter
hot dog.
pound. It's a quarter
Are they good?
pound. Yeah, it was great.
Plus.
So Rob's
that big for a hot dog? I
He's
honestly
like,
don't
it's a
know.
regular hot dog.
It's good. It's good.
Is that big though for a hot dog?
A quarter pound? Yes, it's fucking giant.
Okay.
You guys
How
have
big?
no idea. You have no idea.
No.
I am going
yeah.
to start training for a 40-yard dash starting today. You're all fucked.
You are not.
Well,
shut
it's
up.
a 20-yard race because he said you would win the 40. It has to be a 20.
That doesn't even make sense. He's not
I
quick off the
honestly
start.
Fuck
don't
you,
know
Rob.
how
I didn't
you can
ask
do
you
a
it to make
20.
sense. I asked you to run your fat ass for 20 yards and
It actually makes
lose.
perfect sense. You could be a sprinter and not a runner.
Yeah, but can you get enough like momentum up by the time a 20 is over?
That's what I'm
He
saying. With
can't.
those short little
That's so
stubby
short.
hobbit
Layton
legs.
cannot get. Yeah, I'm explosive.
Here,
You
let
haven't
me.
seen these hips, Meredith. I am
Oh
very
my
explosive
God.
off the gun.
I
Here,
believe you.
you
I
think
voted
I
for
can
you in the
fuck?
40. I
Listen.
said you would win the 40.
All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll run a 40-yard race, but there will be a 20-yard marker so that we can gauge both races, and we'll have double
Perfect.
bets.
There you go.
That
That's-
works.
modern day solutions require modern day problems require
Yes.
modern.
No, you had it right the first
in
time.
the bet.
I'm here
We're
to tell
gonna
you.
have a parlay. This
That's
is
right.
Great.
That's right.
I'm here to tell you. If you
Oh,
even have
dude.
a thought,
Oh.
Race
if you even
followed
have
by
a-
glizzy contest. Exactly.
yeah. Well, okay.
No,
yeah,
no, wait. We got to make it funny. Glizzy contest first, then race.
Then the yes.
Oh no!
God, that
See
is
now,
like
see
Cramp
now,
City.
that's a
Oh.
little different. That's a little. different.
I'm liking it.
Oh.
It's good. Entertainment value increased. Okay, it's
I-
great.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's how it
That's-
goes.
I
That's a
feel
closer
for the
race.
Gust. Just
If
That's a
you guys
closer
want-
race.
if you want to increase attendance at convention, this is the pitch. This is the thing.
We
that
got it, dude. We
It
got it.
happens beforehand. There you go.
So I'm gonna have to train. How many glizzies are we talking? We talking 5, and then you gotta go. How many?
It's a contest.
I
Whoever
like that
wins.
you're ready to go with both hands at any given time. That was just so.
He knew what he was doing there.
you
listen.
gotta go with both hands. You gotta bite.
I bet you
bite,
do.
bite.
Bud. I bet you do.
I don't want to
Yeah,
give
taste
away
it,
like any
taste it.
strategeries or whatever, but you may forfeit the glizzy eating contest so you win the next 2 races. I'm just saying.
Ooh. There's got to be a way to make it so there's no incentive to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
You know what? You know what? We need to make it. We need to make an organization. Who wants to draft the bylaws for this? We need to have bylaws, and whatever the spirit of the bylaws say.
oh my God.
Rob, you can save a life right now. Ronan is offering to quit the army if you can beat him in a race.
Okay, show up at convention. I'll beat you.
Bullshit! You ain't gonna beat Ronan.
Bullshit.
This man,
Money's on Ronan.
yeah, I'm voting Ronan, dude. You're
Yeah, this
getting
one I'm
wrecked.
going for Ronan.
Yeah, that's an easy vote,
Who the
Ronan.
fuck is Ronan?
He longtime member of the show. I don't know if he's in the reserve or in the army or whatever. Anyway, he's been serving for a while. He's
Handsome young
fit.
man.
All right, I have 2 questions. So
Yes, he looks at dicks.
he does get paid to look at penises. Okay, that is true.
There's a lot of jobs in the military. It
I mean,
turns
Mitch
out.
does that for free, but okay.
And
that's-
here we go. He will let you watch him pee, and you can decide for yourself. How about that?
So who here would win a drinking contest, and then who here so who on this call right now would win a drinking contest?
I'm definitely in the top
Adrian.
runnings for sure.
Adrian.
Yeah, probably Tim, I would say.
All right, me versus Adrian.
I think.
Adrian can drink an ungodly amount.
I think me and Tim hung neck and neck together. I've drank with Tim neck and neck. I've also seen Tim blackout drunk at Tom Woods 2000.
That was a good time.
Very upset that Michael Malice brought a puppet, mind you. He was about to start a riot.
Listen, man, I was promised a very special guest, and I got a fucking guy putting his hand up a fucking puppet's ass. All right, I was pissed. I was pissed.
All right, so it's between me and Tim. So Tim and I have to do I do a drinking contest with Tim.
Dude, Adrian can drink. Adrian's Mexican.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's racist.
My family is so ugly.
There is no political correctness.
We are built on intergenerational inbreeding, so we'll be fine.
Holy shit, you're Chatterton's long lost brother?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was trying to get that out.
This is Leonard Skinnerton.
I don't know. Yeah,
bad joke.
Joey's
Bad joke.
right.
All right. Okay.
I didn't get it. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. 5
drinking contest. Let's go. Oh, this is getting out of hand. We're gonna have to do this one. All right. So out of the people on the call right now, who wins a 40-yard dash?
A 40?
Yeah.
Oh, I would smoke you, fools.
Maybe Josh. Maybe
not in those
Josh.
heels.
Josh
way.
is super light,
Dude,
super
I'm
aerodynamic.
also explosive, and I'm a woman, and I'm probably the tallest one on
That
here.
means nothing to me.
That's
I don't know.
Meredith.
I don't know what Jonathan looks like, so I can't make this judgment. All I know is like this weird.
McGee,
profile
I love
picture.
yeah,
you,
yeah,
but-
probably maybe Jonathan.
No,
Yeah.
McGee is just as short as Rob.
It's short
Yeah,
people
but
can run pretty fucking fast.
McGee
Yeah, but no,
is-
you
doesn't
have
look
a
like
short-
Listen,
fucking
Nicole.
Robin. He's just
Fuck
short.
you. Okay, listen.
You
It'll
have
be
a
fine.
shorter stride.
It's I compensate for that with my short little steps. That's what I do.
Like
Yeah,
when
you
I
ever
had
seen
to
a
go to a
Smurf
fucking
walk?
Eagles
It's just
game
like-
with my.
I literally
because I'm getting more steps in. I'm getting more steps in his stride, so I have more propulsion.
He's got
Well,
to use
Mark
more
just said
energy to get the same distance that I can in a couple strides.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
I have
Not
the
a thing.
energy. I have the energy. I have the energy. I don't know who the fuck you're thinking you is, but you're not gonna beat me in a race, Josh. You're
Is
not
bigger-
gonna beat me in
That-
a race.
Is bigger
Is that
with
your McGregor?
No, I'm pretty drunk right now. That's the
is,
bad part.
is
I
bigger
haven't been
really
McGregor.
faster because every movie I've seen, giants move really slow, even when
No,
they
no,
try
no.
to move fast.
It's the length of your stride that I'm talking about. So like, if you have long legs,
Leighton
if you-
cannot stride like that.
I was talking about myself versus you.
He
Rob.
said
I'll
the
kick your
people on
fucking
the
ass.
call, and Leighton's not here.
Meredith, if you want a part of this race, you can get in the race, but you're gonna
I'm
get
so
fucking smoked
in.
so
Rob,
fucking
I
hard.
will murk your ass. When's the last time you lift weights?
Like
That has
this
nothing to
week,
do with
dude. Like
running.
I literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob's
I'm
lying.
athletic. I'm athletic as shit. I promise you.
Mary, you're
Okay.
a woman. You would come in last place. You know this, right?
I'll just pretend to break a nail, and then I'll have you guys all go, "Oh no!" and then I'll get up and run.
Yeah,
We
because
will.
that's
We will
like,
not care. We will not care.
Yeah,
You are not our problem.
You're
Okay.
barking
Like,
at
Just
is there
raise
anyone in
your
this
hand.
call that doesn't lift weights? Seriously? What kind of a question is that?
I don't believe that Rob lifts.
I will
You
say,
don't lift, bro.
I will say really quickly, in all sincerity, I do want to thank Swampcast for willing to have me on because,
Of course.
LP Alliance let Harlos go on for 4 hours unchecked.
Did you try to get on and they wouldn't let you on?
I was not. I was told I was not allowed to be on because they all said that I was too controversial and that I was too
Hold
mean.
on. Somebody
What?
clip this. Somebody clip this and send it to Kyle. Okay, Kyle has said.
Oh, they're watching. They're watching. They
Listen.
heard me call Chase gay and shit. They're watching.
Listen, somebody clip it and send it to
Kyle
Kyle.
has tried. Kyle has tried to get Adrian on.
He says
Kyle,
it's not his
he
call.
has the power. It's bullshit. He has the power. Kyle, you have asked me why you have not been on the show. I will make
Yeah.
you this deal right now. I know I've
Yeah.
made you other deals in the past, but I mean this one.
those were drunken superstitions, guys.
But I mean this one. You've said on the LPA Alliance that you're welcome to all voices, whether they oppose you or not. So if you are willing to have Adrian on the show and you can criticize him and fight with him or whatever, and Swampcast will be there, we'll bring all of our people. We won't stream. We'll come and we'll troll and do whatever.
We won't
If you-
poach.
Yeah, that's right. We won't poach. If you bring
I'm gonna
Adrian,
come.
if you bring Adrian on, we will come, and I'll bring you on the show because I do owe you. But yeah,
Swampcast for the win. I'll drink to that.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll make it
and-
happen.
and
I
look,
think it'll be
we-
a good show. It'll be a good show for them. It'll be a good time for us. It'll be great.
We would
I mean,
also have
there's-
Caryn Ann. We would also have Caryn Ann on, and we would also
Oh,
have
God.
a debate between you and Caryn Ann in the same.
Well, here's
show.
what I want. Here's what I want. I'm glad you brought that up. Here's what I want is I want
Oh,
a
God.
swamp space
God.
between the Swampcast will host it, a swamp space on X, and it'll be Caryn Ann, Adrian, and Stephen Nikela. That's what I want. Those
I'm
three
down.
people. Those three people in the same room.
The
Dispute-
betrayer,
hashing-
Stephen Nikela.
hashing out your differences because I kind of want to watch Steven squirm. I'm not gonna lie. I want to watch
I will
it.
commit to that right now. I will commit. I can't speak for the others, but I would.
That's
commit
fine.
I'm not afraid to go on any podcast if invited and speak to anyone or with anyone on there. I'm perfectly comfortable and confident with my positions. I know the truth, and that's fine.
Yeah, and so it's not. It is to farm drama a little bit because we are
course.
content creators. Okay, so we have a little bit of that incentive. But the reason I want to do it on the X space is to allow everybody to come in. So we're gonna let you guys go at it for a little bit, and then we'll bring the outside orbiters and people that want to fucking shit on or whatever. We'll let them come in too because we thrive in conflict.
And we
wanna-
also have the Mises Caucus's account, and so we can host a space on Friday.
Ooh, Don't
using
tell
the
him.
Mises Caucus
Don't
account.
tell him. Okay. we do have that. But yes.
What are we gonna do? Boot me from the Discord again? They can't. They
It's
have
not
to.
the
I think they have
Discord.
to unblock
It's
me on Twitter though.
it's not the Discord. It's the X.
It's
We
the
don't
t-
have to
it's
unblock
the
you.
X.
Well, they'd have to. Oh, they'd have to block, not block me, or they have me blocked. I think. I don't know.
I don't think a space works that way.
I literally don't know how spaces work.
But we would be the one. The swamp would be the
Boom.
actually the host.
And here it goes. And look, the greatest faction in the LP will also promote this event. So let's fucking happen. Let's make it happen.
So
Let's fucking happen.
We'll
Let's
have the
fucking happen.
I'm coming.
The Pink Flame of Liberty, the Brown Flame of Liberty, and the Wendy's Flame of Liberty, all in the same.
That's right.
All right. Yeah, I'm down for that. I would do it.
I'm putting the offer out. I want to see it.
But it's really funny because you guys, I mean, again, joking aside, like one of the reasons that I was given is
that wasn't a joke.
No, but I mean, going back to the LP Alliance thing, it's that I say things that I bully people and say mean things, and it's like I've never. It's almost as if they've never watched me on anything because I'm, aside from the chatter, they're all fit. It's not like I'm attacking people. I'm just saying the truth, and I'm not going after them and calling them X, Y, or Z. I'm just saying the truth. If that's offensive, if the truth is offensive to libertarians, we have.
Well, you know that Mike Tyson thing. He said like the internet made y'all too comfortable talking about people without getting punched in the face. Like that is kind of like the LP because there was some chick saying a bunch of vile ass shit to me in the chat the other day, and I let it go for a few things, and then I just hit her back with a fact about herself, and she fucking flipped out.
Yeah, that bitch was angry.
And I was like, dude, she called me pathetic, low self-esteem, like all this shit. And then I was like, you threatened to kill yourself in front of a bunch of people because they didn't agree with you, which is true. And,
Cheers.
And now I'm the devil for saying that.
Yeah.
You should have pushed her further.
So for Craig becoming a member really quickly, I want to give him a shout out. He is a gentleman and a scholar.
Craig
he's
is the shit.
LPCA XCOM. He's a
LPCA XCOM.
LPCA XCOM. He's a great man. He's always been a very generous donor. He's donated his time, his money, his efforts. He's as true as they come. Love that guy.
He's Scottish.
He's Scottish. I think he's calling now, or he may have come back, but he's as true as they come. True blue. Love that guy.
What are you doing here?
Swampcast uniting the LP one glizzy at a time. I appreciate that.
That's what it is.
McGee.
He's being too nice here. I thought he was a bully and a mean bigot.
What happened to Rob's camera? The fuck is this shit?
Yeah, Rob just died.
Oh, he died. He died. We got, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Mission accomplished.
This is the time to farm his vote. That's it. He supports me for secretary. You heard that. You heard it here. Everyone loves
You have to make sure you call him, though.
That's right, McGee.
If you want to see a base sec, if not, there's other options. But
Adrian, do not forget to call him.
Don't forget.
That kid has the memory of a fucking goldfish.
I'll send him a text and call. Oh, speaking of, I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait. Oh, wait. While we're talking about Rob calling people.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he was supposed to call you.
Hold on.
Are you saying Daddy's
from
got
this time
receipts?
forward, if I need any votes, I will be calling Robert Vinson and only Robert Vinson.
Well, no one else would even entertain. I was supposed to call Adrian, yes, and it was about the report, and I never needed to because I didn't read the shit because it's already over.
Said fuck you.
If you guys aren't gonna give me the courtesy of having enough time to read it between traveling from convention to that Sunday, then I don't need to read it. Obviously,
Rob,
I can just vote how I want to
vote.
It's 100 pages. It doesn't take 2 seconds if you want, and it's an in-depth report, so it doesn't take 2 seconds.
It takes 20 seconds.
No, it doesn't. It takes 20 seconds when you already know how you're going to vote, which everyone did.
You want to be my latex salesman?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't use condoms at all. I would never be a latex salesman.
Well, I got good news for you guys.
That reference, really? Someone in the chat. Come on.
I like that. That's good.
Wait, we just found out that Rob never uses condoms. I like that.
Well, because he doesn't have sex.
Oh.
You have to
No,
well,
I have a lot of sex. Actually, you wouldn't believe how much sex I have. It's some would say too much sex. A lot of
Hey,
it.
did you know that people who fuck gingers are called pumpkin smashers?
Oh shit!
That's a good one. I've never heard that. Was so good.
I heard that a few years ago and died.
Oh,
I was like, that was the fucking funniest thing I've ever
Nicole for the win. Seinfeld. Yes, that was a George Costanza vote. George Costanza quote about Vandelay Industries.
Damn, I'm disappointed that I did not know that off the top of my head, Adrian. That's a good reference.
It is. It's
and
wow,
good joke, Meredith. You guys, as a couple, calling each other faggots every single day. I fucking love it. I don't know,
Dude, honestly, like I wake up in the middle of the night and I just go to him. Why are you gay?
Yeah.
So,
I'm not gay.
and then I just say you are gay.
And then he goes, "You are gay," and then we go back to sleep.
Boring.
I have that beat. I have that sound somewhere. I was looking for that, but yeah, no. I keep forgetting McGee's on this call.
Because his face isn't here. That's why.
Yeah, I know.
It's just a nameless being in the corner here.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. Yes, McGee, we are Southern brothers.
McGee,
We
do you
should
remember
be
our phone call
talking
the
more.
other night?
Oh, you can call. You can call
Do you
people?
remember our phone
You
call?
do?
It was
Oh
really-
man, yeah, I know.
I don't
You were
know.
really drunk.
Enlighten the chat.
I'm going to give a pitch to you guys, actually, because this hasn't come to fruition yet, but people have asked for it, and it just hasn't come together because reasons.
Later smoking. We'll see you later. All right, go ahead.
I think if you guys are down, we've been talking about this like LNC after hours thing for a long time, where you like any LNC member that wants to join, you have them on. People can do a Q&A, whether it's in the chat, however we set up, however you guys want to set it up, whatever. It can just be people asking questions directly in the chat, having whatever member they want to answer, all of them, free for all, whatever. But having Mises people, having non-Mises people, having independents, having just the entire LNC, which, as you've seen, is not a very functional board at the moment, or probably ever, but less so now. I think that would get a lot of interesting views, and you would be LP Alliance to the punch.
Yeah, I mean, we've offered our services many times. Whatever we need to do, I think, is fine.
We've told Steven several times, like, hey.
Did you call him though? Did you call him?
Have you said thank you? That's a new have you said thank you lately.
We talked with him. We talked with him in person at Florida at the Florida convention because we are Florida buds like that.
Did Duke Chastain used to be on the show?
He still is technically. We have
He's
never
still a host.
fired a
Yeah.
host. We have never
He's still a
fired a
host.
host. Mara's still a host. Rich is still a host. They can come back at any moment.
And what about is he still with CD?
Yes.
Yep.
I think they're married now.
Yeah, they're married.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're married.
So if
They
you
can't have kids because Duke was sterile, but it's fine.
I see them once a year at wrestling shows.
Wait. He didn't taste sterile. That's weird. When he came in my mouth at Tom Woods 2000.
I get it now. It was an oral sex joke. That makes sense. I'd missed it before, but now that you explain it, it's funny.
No. You see,
you're saying you're gay.
He's a funny comedian.
You see, because the joke is he put his cock in my mouth.
Bro, an hour ago, this is kind of related. An hour ago, Josh Smith announced that another kid is on the way. Jesus Christ, dude!
Speaking of putting cocks in place.
Stop.
Jesus, dude!
That man's a semen demon, son. What is going on?
He really
You
is.
guys can laugh at him all you want. That welfare check is going to be lit. Okay.
I know. Yeah.
That guy's like
child support.
Libertarian Genghis Khan. Jesus Christ.
There it is, right there. I don't know if I can make it bigger
Holy
somehow, but yeah,
shit.
cat is finally out of the bag.
Poor wife.
Number 8, it says.
Well,
Number
while
8
while we're
in
on
the
this-
house.
Well, if anyone wants to
All
post
of them are not.
Fuck,
like,
dude.
But like at least like 4 or 5 of them are hers. So
That's fucking crazy, dude.
I
while
love
we're
how
talking-
it says
oh,
and
wait.
final.
While we're on the
We'll
topic of
see.
crazy, if anyone wants to go to Caryn Ann's feed, I'm sure I'll have some interesting things to say.
Are you gonna get ready to go over there? What's going on? Is she
no,
streaming?
she
No,
was
no,
supposed
it's
to have
Twitter,
a show
on-
tonight with Jake
the
Porter.
tweeter.
Actually.
No, I meant feed on the Twitters, as the kids say.
That's what I thought you meant.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be crazy on Twitter. That's nothing new.
Oh, if you
very
search
crazy.
Adrian's name on there, it will give you like a 404 error type thing.
Wait,
Adrian,
what?
on Twitter, you are a menace. You are very good on the Twitter sphere.
ADS is real.
Yeah,
Me?
dude, you make some people mad. I've seen it on your Twitter, and it's hilarious. I do enjoy that.
What was the last one? I think I've had some pretty good ones recently.
What was the?
I'm not sucking your dick. No.
I don't remember the last one because my feed's all been Iran and Israel for the past like couple weeks, but and like Jew hatred, which is like I don't know, it's all over Twitter. It's literally all over Twitter. You can't get away from it. But if I go to your Twitter, if anyone goes to your Twitter, they can see you just shitting on folks constantly.
Mm-hmm.
It's well deserved, I'd argue.
It's also immediate. It's like you're like
Very,
there's no like this guy might be genuinely upset. No, it's like you're a fag and here's why you're ugly.
Well, I don't know why they're ugly. I just tell them that they are. I mean,
Yeah.
in Chatterton's case, it's clear. I've already made that. I've already made that clear as to why.
Is it because he's inbred?
I think it is. Yeah.
Your highlight reel was well received.
That was so
I was
funny.
trying to clip it. It's too much.
Oh, if you could clip the highlight reel just at the beginning, it would be so good. I would make that my new ringtone. I'd never pick up the phone though when Rob called because I would just want to.
You would just listen to Caryn Ann replaying your greatest hits.
It was just so funny how unironic it was. I mean, there was some stuff, and
there's something about it though, like the way, like I think it was Meredith that said it. The righteous indignation with which she said it, that sold it. Like you saying it is funny, but the way she said it was even funnier.
It was. 100%.
She said that Andrew's Chatterton's parents must be related because no one would want to fuck him.
Yes.
He said that he was so fat that he hibernated.
It's no wonder that he has more energy than me because he hibernates.
and Chatterton, I respect you as a colleague, and I think that you need to write. You need to prepare because you and Adrian are gonna meet again at some point, and you're gonna have to come with some fire. You can't come with that Chatterton breaking glass thing all over the table like you've been doing. You're gonna actually have to hit some fire.
And tell him to do it by not just making fun of me because that's what everyone tries to do.
So this was my
It's got to be directed. It's got to be directed at both.
Yeah,
So
it's got to it's got to be at Adrian, not Meredith.
So I had a couple of bangers at the Grand Rapids meeting, which was hilarious because it's his home turf, but everyone hates him there, right? So at some point in time, so this was Saturday, and you can pick it up. Only the people that were there really got it, and it was like really, really fucking funny. So even if you go back to the recording because it was so poor.
No, I got it because I was watching at home.
So on Saturday afternoon. Our executive director had just like reminded everyone, hey, we have our fundraiser later this evening, whatever. It starts at 7 p.m. There's not going to be any dinner, just light appetizers. So if you want to have dinner beforehand, feel free, blah, blah, blah. She just gave us the specs. So then we move on. We're still on the first motion that I proposed, by the way. So we'd spent like 3 hours just arguing about adopting the agenda and what would go on, because of course we did, because we're feckless. Now, so it's like 4:30. And so Chatterton raises a point of order, and he says, maybe we should just table this till tomorrow. We're still on one motion, mind you, the first motion of the whole thing, right? And he says, maybe we should table this right now because, we just heard the XD give an update on the fundraiser, and some of us would like to get dinner for. And some of us would like to get dinner for. I was so upset by how the debate was going. I just turned to him and I said, if anyone could afford to skip a meal, it's you. Can we fucking get this along? Can we move this along? And everyone died. The gallery was like they were all fucking weak. And then he followed it up. He's like, well, I don't appreciate you screaming at me, Mr. Malagon. I said, what you're hearing screaming is your chair. Jesus fucking Christ. And I just like,
Jesus, dude.
And Michaela tried so hard. I bless his soul. He really tried so hard to keep a straight face, but he couldn't. He just looked, and you know who was laughing right along with everyone? Caryn Ann Harlos. She thought it was.
Wow. Listen, comedy's all about timing, and I don't know, I'm not a comic, but like the best thing is to make somebody involuntarily laugh. They're trying to hold it in and they can't, right, Rob?
Well, yeah, no, and at the end of the day,
No.
you should be able to laugh at yourself, Chatterton. You are a big
Yes.
fellow, and
Yes.
and here's the thing,
And you should join us in the Glizzy Marathon.
you should join us in the Glizzy Marathon. You're gonna
You fat,
lose.
sweaty fuck.
You will lose, but I think we need to get to a point where we are buds, because that's
Yes.
ultimately where we would do the best work, is when we're all working together. And
Listen, all the shit that we've talked about Caryn Ann on this show at the LPF convention, I think we all had a good time together.
yeah, I made her a donkey punch. I donkey punched Caryn Ann.
she enjoyed it. She said
did.
it was really good.
She liked it.
So-
Sue me.
Well, she only enjoyed it because remember she doesn't sleep with her husband. So
Oh Jesus! See, you gotta.
That's sexually harassing.
No.
her.
See, that's what he does. That's what he does, and it's a little bit too far, and some people don't like that.
I
It's
have it
funny.
on
Why?
good authority. I have it on good authority that that's what happened from the source herself, which is really funny. Oh man, that is a picture of a well-adjusted person.
Don't worry about that, okay? She's getting ready to play your greatest hits.
Kyle, you're on
And
the wrong
just-
podcast.
Like Adrian Malagon did with Beth Vest, he has consistently made fat jokes against Andrew Chatterton. He has claimed that he is inbred, that his parents, I don't have the exact quote, so this is going to be a paraphrase, that basically his family couldn't find anyone to breed with. So it's not his fault that he's so terrible because he's completely inbred. He also asked Andrew Chatterton, how does he possibly type with food in one hand than the other?
Hold on, there's more. When we get to the right timestamp.
This really is the greatest.
He has said, no wonder Andrew Chatterton has more energy than him, because Andrew Chatterton is so big, he must hibernate for the entire winter, so he must have enough rest. He has said, because I have pink hair and because Mike Seebeck wears tie-dye, that we should both be expelled from the party.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that one. And then there's another one here.
Wait, you don't agree with the other ones?
The other ones are just funny. The libertinism is a consistent issue that I have with the party, but we'll keep going.
Provision.
Yeah.
Adrian Malagon has made insults about my hygiene. He has made insults about my appearance. He has tried to claim that I should not speak until spoken to. So
this is just funny
He
to
has
me.
claimed that. He didn't try to claim it.
This is just funny to me. Yeah, there's more, but I don't have any others timestamped. I just
He
died
called
laughing
Matt
and got
Johnson a
distracted.
fat retard in the chair of the Florida party.
I just like how
Sorry, I can't
Who
stop.
loves you
This is
now?
so
Apparently,
fucking
Matt's
funny.
on your side now.
It's because we squash people. Like that's how men are. Like I was like, hey, we're cool, right? He's like, yeah, you're a dick. And I was like, yeah, you're a fat retard. He's like, tight. Let's go grab.
Yeah, Matt.
That's how that is. Yeah.
Matt will squash beef. We have squash beef as well.
He literally got up. So during the
He
Grand
looks like he'll
Rapids,
squash beef.
he followed me out of the room, and he's like, "Are you grabbing a drink? Because I can't either." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Tight." And we just like
Wait.
sat there.
Oh
like,
wait, you just bonded over alcoholism. That's all that was.
Did this actually happen? Send this to me, Sean. I will play it. Where's the timestamp?
Oh, I heard about this, but I didn't. I must have been in the
Oh.
kitchen when this happened.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Wait, what?
Sparks.
I can-
You told me, Mary.
Oh,
you told me
yeah, I
you
shut
got
it
up
off
to
before
drink
this
your
one
ass
hit.
at some point in time.
This has to be in like the last 30 minutes.
She bent over and goes, kiss my libertarian ass, and then spanked herself.
At what point is this? Play it. Show me the timestamp. I will.
Oh,
I will
man.
do it. Yeah.
I can only get so
Oh,
erect.
it was within the first hour, but I can't.
It is not within the first hour. No
And she kept
fucking
talking
way.
about how great her ass is.
Oh yes, I do remember the conversation about the asses. Research must be done. We will test this theory.
I don't know if we want to test
I remember because then I said something about her wearing
things
goofy
are best.
headphones, and she was like, "Oh, you're making fun of my
You
appearance."
know what's so funny? Mitch is so glad that he's so happy that he's gay.
Mitch
I
is so good.
I am not gay, but at the same time, I am so glad that I don't have to deal with all this gay shit that you guys have to deal with. Holy fuck.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered.
Yeah, that definitely is Mitch. Like, I went to conversion camp. I ain't gay no more.
Oh
Holy
my god.
holy
Mitch, I don't want you to leave.
Well,
He's
he's
not-
going to
he's not
conversion
leaving.
camp,
He-
not concentration
Are you
camp,
talking-
Meredith. Jesus Christ.
Mitch,
I don't want him to leave
Mitch,
the party because I love Mitch.
Mitch, I'm just going to give you a pitch. Look, I'm going to need a vice chair. I'm gonna need a
American Party, Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch, do it.
Do it, Mitch. You fucking pussy. You don't
Of
do
the
shit
American
anyway.
Party, sure, yeah.
Mitch, an announcement is coming soon. Okay, I'm gonna announce the announcement soon. You just have to be ready
Yeah,
to go.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure your announcement will be coming very soon.
Be ready.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm
Mitch
trying
is
to
gonna
find
blow
this
his
ass
voice out
spanking.
again. He keeps doing that shit.
Yeah, no,
What
that
Mitch, are you
voice
gonna
is
stay
basically
in the?
retired now. That one's retired.
Are you staying in the emo caucus, Mitch?
Oh, this is perfect. I think I may have found it.
Oh, I never saw this, so this is like news to me.
Hold
Oh
on.
no.
You got to give me a second because look at
I'm
this
giving you all the
screen.
seconds you need to get it
Okay.
right.
Secretary, kiss my libertarian ass. My fabulous libertarian ass. Like Amanda has a fabulous libertarian.
These are the theories that need to be tested. Anyway, Mitch is a hockey fan. He's not gay. I was trying to change the subject.
That's not evidence in the right way.
No.
Mitch is the
You missed
Sean
it.
Avery of
hey, wait.
this fucking whole podcast.
We need to analyze this better. We need a replay.
Okay.
Secretary, kiss my libertarian ass.
That was a slow
All right,
mo
now,
for you.
now rewind it and do it half speed.
Got you.
You don't
Does
think
she have a
I was
nice
a good
ass? I can't
secretary?
Look.
Kiss my libertarian ass.
Oh,
My
yeah. Hey,
fabulous.
LP Alliance, how you like slow-mo now, you fucking fucks? Fuck you, idiots. That's terrible. That's terrible. Your podcast is terrible.
No, offer still stands. I'm just saying.
Wait, did they slow-mo you
Kyle,
calling Chase
you
a
don't need to
faggot?
listen to Rob.
Oh, they
He
did.
doesn't
They
represent all of us.
retweeted.
No, they didn't. No way they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I saw it on
Yeah,
Twitter.
they did. They
Someone did.
cause he's girl.
But that was
That's why they
Fakertarians did that. That wasn't them, right?
I don't know.
Oh, was
No,
it?
that was definitely them being scared because they don't know if he's just going to call them faggots the entire time.
Yeah, I don't know. I attributed it to both, honestly.
No.
I'm disturbed that
backed off.
I'm disturbed that JJ just said that she's done the ass slap before. I've never seen it. I hope to never see it again.
It's because she's so good at it. It looks so good.
You got to kiss her libertarian ass.
I'm just saying, if it's so good, why does her husband sleep in a different room? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's personal.
Stop sexually harassing her.
Maybe he snores. Maybe he snores.
Maybe he's got a sleep apnea machine. Those are very loud.
Those are fair. I you know what? I didn't really do a deep dive. These are legitimate potential variables that weren't taken into. I can.
One thing.
Yeah.
Wait, do you guys think she has a nice ass? That's my question.
I couldn't really see it there. Couldn't really see it there.
Couldn't say. Wasn't really looking either.
I am just going to go out on a limb and say no.
And you know what? I'll never judge a woman in her older years, in her later years, for the ass she has. I want to look at younger pictures when she was before Pink. Before Pink happened.
Well, I've seen those.
Oh God.
I mean,
I think Josh.
So to be fair, Rob, I know what you're talking about. That was like
You know
that
what I'm
old German woman I dealt with at my old job. Like, I always got the vibe where it's like, man, when you were young, I would have probably banged the shit out of you.
So when you were in the
Dan's
ass
got the
match,
light bulb.
this young German woman. Let's go back to that.
Old German woman when I was working at the
Old German. Her name was Jorgensen. You may remember her.
Wait, I've heard
She's
weird
like
things
signs
about
contract
JoJo.
there, Mitchell.
Oh God, we're gonna keep on talking.
We've discussed weird things with said woman.
Look, I'm just saying that's proof that
That
the LP
TikTok,
has no
I've
chance.
tried to find it. I can't find it. It's
That's
gone.
proof
It's
that the
been
LP has no
scrubbed.
chance. We had a Jorgensen Cohen ticket and we couldn't get anything done.
Right. Yeah.
That ticket
Libertarians.
itself couldn't get shit done.
The alternate
Anyway.
unity ticket.
Here you go.
Wait, what is happening
Oof.
here? Wait, what? Wait, what is this?
This
You're
is
breaking
real.
the robbers' rules, man.
This is-
You're not.
No. Wait, is this? Hold on. Did you Photoshop this or is this real?
No, this is fucking real.
Real.
This is fucking real. I'll send you the
Wait,
link.
no, it's not.
No,
Yes,
it's not.
It is.
It is real. We
Am I
found it
fucking
earlier.
lying to you? Like, what the fuck
Originally,
do
he
you
was
want
going
me
to
to
put it in
say?
the thumbnail, and he
Is-
didn't. I was disappointed.
Israel.
Hit him with the date on this bitch, because that's what I looked for immediately when I got in.
She actually looks pretty there.
July 10th,
2016.
2016.
No.
Almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
That's cultural appropriation.
She's okay with that. I don't think she has a problem.
Yeah, I
with
don't think
Yeah.
that's an issue. LP Alliance might hate it though.
that. No,
This is a real article, like on the internet.
I'm posting the link in chat right now, and I'm sending it to Adrian in a DM. Yes, it's
Oh my
fucking
God.
Holy shit. Oh.
Holy- wow.
Oh no, Adrian's gonna get so
The
much use
swamp
out of that.
comes for all.
Listen, we have a good time here, okay? I'm sure she would laugh at this photo too.
I don't think she
No,
would
she-
laugh at anything I do.
It's not you didn't do it, I did it. Okay.
Well, no, but I'm gonna have fun with this somehow. I will.
Dilatory man.
But I like the braids better than the pink.
I do. Yeah.
I like the braids better than the pink.
Rob, don't you have a thing for black chicks?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm the one
Yeah.
with the thing for black chicks.
they both
I
do.
like a variety. I don't know. I don't really have a type, but
Rob likes
yes, I
black
do like
women.
black
He's
women. Yes.
lying.
They just have to have a penis, and he's super down.
That's right.
That would
Yeah.
be
See,
only if you're Duke.
others will confirm this is real. This is real.
See, JJ knows real.
Wow.
Yep.
What JJ can tell you no, and he can confirm the reality of this photo there.
That's
But
right.
you're all degenerates, but JJ has never lied to me once in my life. I believe
That's fine.
without any
Exactly. That's why we
And
needed
even he
JJ.
has the receipts.
So now I know it. Now I know it's real. I didn't trust you guys. I thought maybe you. photoshopped
JJ is also JJ also loves him some black women.
I am addicted birds of fire, man. Okay.
Yeah.
I tried. It's terrible.
Oh god.
JJ does think it's a lot better, but it's because he lives in the projects.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't look. It's not terrible. You know, it's better than pink.
Yeah, I mean, but anything. I mean, it's like dollar store stuff that you like go and buy in bulk or whatever. I don't know. It's weird.
And she makes Wayne do it for her. Did you hear that?
I don't want to talk about that. That's sad. Anytime I hear about a weak man, it makes me sad. I can't deal with this.
That's actually very fair. It did. Yeah.
I've never met Wayne. I'm sure he's a very nice person, but if you do your
Wayne
wife's
is
hair,
very
you're
nice.
a weak. You're
I
a weak
used to
man.
feel bad,
Sorry.
but if you enable that kind of behavior, this is like on you. Like that's just that's bad. I mean, it's all sorts of bad. I don't really know what to do with that.
Joke's on you. He likes that shit.
I clearly.
I need a clip. What is this that I'm being linked? What is Duke is or no? Josh sent me this. What is this? Jacob Winograd. Do you remember pinging me? Where's
Oh,
Josh?
Jacob hates Adrian.
I'm right here.
Okay, so
From
what
like
happened?
20 minutes ago, where it was
Winograd.
relevant.
Winograd.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't remember. I'm not on anyone's team right now, but let me be clear: the LNC will not exceed. Oh, okay. I see why it's relevant now. I'm bringing it up. We'll make it
Winograd
relevant.
hates Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed.
Did you know?
A
Do
lot-
you
a
know
couple
about?
people
Do you
in the
know about
swamp
this?
noticed.
I mean,
because we got sent
a lot of low IQ people hate me. That's fine. I don't really care.
I don't know who Winograd is. Isn't he the Jesus guy? Isn't he one of them?
Yes, he's a
biblical
born
anarchy.
again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not on anyone's team right now, but it's clear to me that the LNC will not succeed with Adrian Malagon. I see him. Anyone who supports Adrian being involved with anything LP related should not be trusted. And with that, I bring in our next guest, Stephen Nicola. What's up?
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Is
He's right
Steve
here.
here?
Yeah, say
He's
hi.
right there.
Good, everybody. What's up?
There you go.
I texted Meredith and McGee for the link, and I didn't get a reply, so I had to
Oh,
contact.
I'm sorry. My phone's. I'm not looking at my phone right now.
Contact the
Because I
people in
didn't call
charge.
McGee.
We don't.
Mr. Chair has
welcome.
joined us. Hello, Mr.
Welcome,
Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody?
I want to apologize in advance for any emails you may receive as a result of this podcast.
Steve, I love you.
I figured
on.
I'd get in front of the news cycle because I'm like 6 controversies deep this week. So
We will. Okay.
Welcome to 7.
Hey, but to be fair, that's deeper than anything Rob's ever been in. So good for you.
Good job.
Except your mother, Adrian. Fuck you.
Well, she's dead, so that's kind of messed up.
Joey, we will talk about the super mayor at a later point. We have more pressing issues to get to. Steve, earlier I put it out. Adrian, yourself, and Caryn Ann on the same X space. Do you approve?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
What? Let me ask you. I'm putting you major screen right now because you're a very big center of this whole controversy. There were promises made, according to Caryn Ann,
Yeah, you
that
betrayed Caryn Ann, Stephen.
you would keep her in check. What the fuck happened?
Steve looking like a straight terrorist right now.
He can't help it.
And he's also got to plug Wendy's before he talks. So
And
go ahead
you
and do
also
that.
kiss my ass a lot.
It's after 10 o'clock, so I'm in my natural habitat. I just got off the Islamic Brotherhood meeting Zoom conference.
I knew it.
So what building is it tomorrow?
Steve, what does Adrian
All
have
I'm
on
saying
you?
is don't be at the World Trade Center tomorrow.
That is well, it's gone. So.
Wait, are you Jewish? Hey, hold up. What?
Okay, I really want to know though. We have a couple questions, but I have to do service
Yeah.
to our members first. They want to know. We have 2 people that watch our show that applied to be lifetime members of the Libertarian Party. I can give you their names off this. I won't do it live on air, but they want to know what is the timeline to be added as lifetime members. There was a $5 super chat for that. I'll drink. You're the chair. Explain.
All right, yeah. So to be a lifetime member, you just got to donate $1,500 within a year. So as long as it's within a 12-month cycle, you can get your pin. And
how long does it take to be recognized? They already gave the money.
Did they? Email me at chair@lp.org and I'll find out with Hannah, our executive director.
We can put it on the website tomorrow.
Mario and Barfo, get at them. If they don't do it, the swamp will hold them accountable. Okay. All right, back to the drama.
And it's very important if when you become a member of the Libertarian Party that you know that gaslighting isn't real. You're just imagining things again. So that's very important. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean, basically, Adrian and Caryn Ann were going at it again. So it was like a Tuesday. And I tried to put the kibosh on things. And so, I sent out an email trying to diffuse the situation. But
you prayed to Allah first, very fervently.
Yes, of course. It was very Aladdin. And so, I sent out an email basically saying, look, this needs to fucking stop. I called 2 of the motions dilatory because it was just back and forth. And I'm not going to lie, I was in the pool drinking beer, and I just thought this was a huge distraction from my Sunday. I was getting very upset.
Yeah.
I was about to go postal. And then Caryn Ann replied like, oh, well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Da, 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 da. If anybody needs me, go on my private email. And I didn't feel like she was taking this very seriously because, quite frankly, she was a part of the problem too. So I put the hammer down on her in a response. And
great podcast.
And after that, she decided to resign from the entire board. So I guess that's what did it. I guess I was the straw that broke the camel's back, which is quite racist in my opinion.
Did you watch? True. Did you watch the LPA stream at all? Did you watch her explain her position?
I caught a little bit of it. Yeah, I caught some of it.
She said what specifically pissed her off is that you berated her for her behavior, but not Adrian.
Adrian knows I think he's an asshole. So it's an open secret at this point. I mean, I've snapped at Adrian before. I mean, we've had talks, and to be quite honest, every single time Caryn Ann has asked me to, I've had a private call with Adrian on multiple occasions. We have like a slideshow. I've got a PowerPoint, and we just set a time like every Tuesday at 8:00. It's like, Adrian, it's 8 on a Tuesday, and he's already liquored up, ready for these are the transgressions from the past 7 days. So. There's only so much I can do because people think just because I'm chair, I can wave my dick around and, get people to stop doing things. Like my favorite was when people say, Nikela, what are you going to do about LP NH, which I'm sure Ben had fun with LP Alliance tonight.
Yeah.
There's not much I really can do or should do about, what people assume are terrible things. My main thing is to deal with staff and the board.
Mm-hmm.
I can lay down the rules with staff. My main thing is working with them. But as far as the board goes, people are just going to have to deal with other people. And, it's not like we live in everybody has different personalities. I mean, what are we going to, you can't expect everybody to get along. There's going to be conflict as long as there's people. And, I mean, it's not an easy thing to try to make better. I really don't have like a a magic wand I could just wave around and say everybody like each other and be friends.
Right.
But I think Caryn Ann, she kind of expects things to be run like a corporation where you walk in, you clock into work, and there's an HR department. And
Baloney. She's not fucking corporate at
Well, no,
all.
I think that
She
he's
expects
no, I
him to
think,
be
No.
run
no,
the way she wants it.
no, well, yeah, no, but I think he's correct. I think that she expects a certain level of professionalism by her standards, but she doesn't meet those standards herself, but she changes it subjectively to her. No corporation, I was telling Meredith this, no company in the Bay Area would hire her. She would get fired almost immediately. I mean, she's not, the only thing that she has going for her is that she's a woman. But I mean, liberal women like that are a dime a dozen here. She's okay. She can say she's bi, but that's not real. They want like an ethnic woman that
all women are bi, so it's
Well, I mean,
it's not
True.
special.
well, I mean, she's not special here, but she wants it run like a
She's
board.
never even been with a woman. She figured that out like 2 years ago that she was bi. I don't think it counts.
Well, I mean, whatever. That aside, I'm just saying that he's right. She thinks that it should be run like a corporation, but the problem is that we're all volunteers. We're not a corporation, and by any actual corporate standard, she would not be on this board. So that's the irony of the whole thing. And Meredith's also right that it's her perception of what she believes a corporate. But she's not. She's filed bankruptcy 3 times. She doesn't know how finances work. She can't hold a job. So it's like her like Looney Tunes crayon version of what she believes a corporation is. So I do think that he's right, and I think that Meredith's right. There is a truth right there in the middle, which is that it should be run like a corporation, but only her version of what she believes a corporation should be run like. And I think that's 100% true.
And I mean, at the end of the day,
yeah, which is one with an HR division.
We're a political party, so it's a different set of rules. I mean, if people think the Libertarian Party is bad, the Republicans and Democrats are not much better, and they're even more ruthless.
They fuck their interns.
Yeah.
Literally.
Am I lying? Okay.
Dude, can you not? I just taken a hit. Just don't.
We already learned about Lindsey Graham's ladybugs here on the show.
That's
You don't
right.
need to
That's
be
right.
reminded.
Lindsey
Yeah.
Graham.
Oh God.
Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Whatever you do,
Wait,
do
so
not
You don't
like-
want to
Google it.
know.
Caryn
You
Ann
don't
kept
wanna
saying-
know.
Stay innocent.
Caryn Ann kept saying, like, what does Adrian have on Steve? And the thing that Adrian has on Steve is that they do fuck each other.
But that's an open secret.
I'm
So.
the top.
Hard.
I'm the top. I'm the top.
Steve.
Power bottom. Obviously,
That
power
means-
bottom. Obviously.
That means you're throwing it back,
From the
Steve.
LNC at every meeting. That's actually what's keeping this party going. So,
Yeah.
we're doing our part.
It's the sexual chemistry.
It's nice to have people who are funny on the
No,
board too, and who can actually pal around. I don't know. It builds camaraderie. You have a better team when
For
you
sure.
can fucking drink together.
No, but Tim said something that's really. I mean, that question.
Steve.
It shows something really interesting here. That it's really like this is her level of comprehension, and it is, and I don't mean this as a pejorative, but it will come off as one. It's very childlike. It's very ignorant, and it's that she assumes, she has to believe that no one disagrees with her unless there is some other variable. Okay, so I have to have something on Nikela, or else he would never agree with me because I'm a mean man, because I'm mean. So something has to exist. I have to have something over him. Otherwise, he would never agree with me because no one would disagree with Caryn Ann Harlos. It's insane. I mean, it's very juvenile and sad, but it's just funny that she can't see it. So many people disagree with her, and they have disagreed with her in the past. Again, she has now gone after 2 chairs and 2.
I don't mean to distract you.
No,
He's here.
2. I think it's more like 3.
Well,
Went after JB
she's gone
too.
after. Okay, so actually 3 chairs. You're right. She's been removed twice, and now she resigned. But
I do this with love. Okay.
The problem is everybody else, and it's wild to me that she can't fathom that Nikela just disagrees with her as someone who's a successful business owner and has obviously run these things well. That he would agree with me because I'm bad as far as she's concerned. It's wild.
There comes a point that I can't. I didn't join this board to regulate other people's emotions constantly. It's like I already have a wife and a 3-year-old daughter. Okay,
right.
And I've dealt with this before in business too, where you get a manager or somebody who they're calling you, and I've got hundreds of employees, and I'm like, why is this one manager calling me every single week with her problems and complaining about the boss and this person and that person, and it's always the other person's fault. And I talked to the manager and said, what happened? Well, she called out, and the other day she said that her grandma was sick and her kid and blah 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 blah. At a certain point, it's like, look, I'm not here to be a babysitter. I get that other people are mean or whatever. And, I try to be quite honest, what I can to try to keep the peace and the harmony on the board as much as I can. But at the end of the day, if it's always the same person that you're dealing with over and over and over again, that trouble just seems to follow, or, it's always just an issue with a certain person or several people or whatever the case is, at what point is it just their problem and it's not my problem? And so, I did go hard on Caryn Ann in that email, I guess. I didn't think it was, that out of line or whatever she thought.
I don't think it was particularly aggressive. I don't think
exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was, so, I mean, if that's what it took, whatever, but there needs to be some reflectivity on both sides. Because if she's calling Adrian saying, well, he's doing all these things and you're doing the exact same thing in that moment, it's like, okay, well, I told you I did everything I could in my power, and it's really not up to me at that point. So you can keep complaining or, resign, which she did. So it's probably
but here's the thing. It was a rough email for you to send. It wasn't objectively, it wasn't. It was just a truthful email that laid out facts. But for you to do it, it reminds me of that Family Guy. It was like season 1, where Peter Griffin's father is like this super uber Catholic guy, and he's very pious and whatever. And then he meets the Pope, and the Pope is like, your son is a fine, he's a fine Catholic. He's a fine man. You should be very proud. And he's like, oh, well, you've gone soft on me, Holy Father. How dare you? My son's a piece of shit, whatever. And it's like, it was that thing. It was that you said something true, and it was harsh coming from you because you had just been very nice to her. And at some point, like you said, you snapped and you're like, this is enough. But it was objectively a very professional, well-crafted and well-worded email. But for her, it was the dagger that stabbed her in the back and in the heart and whatever, because it was so true and hit so close to home that there was no real denying that. If I'd sent that, if anyone else had sent that, it would have been whatever. But because you sent that and your demeanor is not that strong, when it comes to words and putting people in their place, that's why it was the straw that broke the camel's back. #racism. Right?
Yeah, to quote Sean Kennedy.
I think it's very telling that she's freaking out at Steve more than Adrian right now. Sorry, go ahead, Tim.
I was going to say, it's unbecoming of you to talk about your ex-best friend that way. Okay? That's all. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say, Meredith.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, I think it's very interesting that today she's been going on and on about Nicaila lately. And somebody called Wayne and called Caryn Ann a whore. And she's saying they had to block Steve over that or something. Yeah, and that's
texting me, and then she's like, I blocked Nicaila. I'm like, you texted me in the middle of the day. And
first of all, second of all, there is a guy who emailed me for some reason on the LNC and was like, thank you for getting rid of Harlos or something. There's this, and this guy has emailed us before.
I'm sure they're getting it on both sides. I don't take any of that seriously.
But it's just very interesting to me, though, that she assumes that would be because of Steve.
Right.
Really, Caryn Ann? She's got a problem with Adrian, but it's just interesting that she is really freaking out about Steve right now.
Yeah, well, she thinks that Steven betrayed him, and the betrayal was you made a promise to her. Do you want to acknowledge this promise? Is this real? Do you know what I'm referring to?
Oh, that I would ask Adrian to resign, I think was what she was referring to.
I promised that if Adrian continues his prior bad behavior, that I will ask him to resign. I can pull the clip.
Is that something?
I can pull the clip of her saying that. I don't know that you said it. That's what I'm asking.
I mean, we had conversations because obviously her and Adrian have been at it for a long time.
So
I have not asked Adrian to resign though, and I don't plan on it because.
And I told him too, and Nicaila knows this. I mean, and Meredith knows this too, and so does McGee. I told him flat out multiple times in all these meetings that happen behind closed doors. I was like, if you ever want my resignation, all you have to do is ask. If you think that I provide no value to this board or we don't align anymore, and I told him consequently too, if I no longer believe in your vision I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to make a public statement. I'm just going to resign, and I'm going to call it a day. And that's it. And I wish the best of luck to you. I said that to him flat out. And a lot of people heard me say that. And that's the thing. Like, okay, that could have been true. Maybe he did say that at some point in time, but I offered to do that if I no longer aligned with this LNC and I produced nothing of value, or I felt that I wasn't valuable anymore. He felt that I wasn't valuable anymore. That's all that matters. Right. And that's there.
I'll play the clip and then you can respond to it, Stephen. So here it is.
Adrian Malagon's behavior. The chair has ignored all of them. He didn't even give me a thank you. We're looking into this.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. You didn't even say thank you.
You didn't call her. Like, you didn't call. Have you ever called Rob? Rob takes umbrage with that.
Stephen has called me, actually.
Well, I do want to bring that up. Did Caryn Ann make formal complaints to you about Adrian's behavior, and did you respond to them? Two-part question.
I don't. She might have sent me an email recently. I don't remember how long ago, about to me and the vice chair regarding Adrian's behavior. And I'm pretty sure every single time she's reached out to me, I've reached out to Adrian. So Adrian got a phone call from me. We've talked about it. And, you know,
I'm guessing you can confirm that, Adrian. We have both of you here.
Usually he'll text me if he needs something. Like today, he just texted me earlier and I got it to him like in 10 seconds. But when I get an unsolicited call, I'm like, oh, fuck, what happened now? And I'm like, hey, man, what's up? And he's like, all right, so here's the deal. And then yes, that
sounds accurate.
Yeah, that's exactly how, because it's just a big, deep sigh. He's like, so here's where we're at. And then he gets into the whole thing. So, yes, that's happened on multiple occasions. And Meredith has been here for some of those because I go into the room and I'm...
You know how... Actually, no. You know, I was just going to say, you know how, like, Adrian doesn't even think it's that big of a deal because I didn't even know that was happening.
Oh, okay. I would just see a phone call.
You were getting those calls.
I'm going to the...
because Adrian knows. He knows. Yeah, he knows he could go too far sometimes, I think. He knows.
I just wanted to bring that up because that was another point that she made throughout the podcast.
I don't go far enough.
What was that? Like, she made several complaints about Adrian, and those were never properly addressed. You can bring that up. What was that?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, do you have to dye your hair pink to accept Rob's nomination for secretary? Okay.
I will not.
But again, I mean, she wants me to like go to the family dinner and stick my dick in mashed potatoes, and it's like, you know, there's got to be other ways to.
We called my cousin doing that back in 2007. We called him Dick Potatoes for the rest of his life.
And Saturday would eat them. That's the funny part.
It comes from
Andrew. Defend yourself. Defend your big self.
You gotta, dude. You gotta. At the 40-yard dash in Grand Rapids. Anyway. What?
We had the chance.
What? I want to get to the promise. What?
Oh.
Bitch! All right, next. All right, I'm going to the thing.
He ignored them.
Yeah.
Our policy manual requires an investigation.
Okay.
If Angela McCardle is going
I may have gotten the wrong thing.
I wrote. If you'd like to hear.
There was a promise made. That's what I want to get to.
Is Michael Malice on the show now? What's going on?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
there's no fuck you, bro. Okay.
Fuck you too. Fuck you too.
Oh, you have Puppet. Okay, here you go. Entertain with Puppet.
Oh, you have Puppet.
Puppet.
Stephen Nikela.
Mr. Saddam.
Thank you for recognizing who I am. Many people think I'm not Saddam.
You shook hands. You shook hands with Spike Cohen. It was crazy.
Everybody loved Stephen Nikela. Were you terrorist, Caryn Ann Harlos?
Will you terrorist? Is that
Were you terrorist, Caryn Ann Harlos?
Were you a terrorist to Caryn? What?
Don't change his question.
Is your shoe smoking, or are you just happy to see me?
No, my shoe no smoke. My shoe no smoke. You smoking weed. I don't even fucking know where I'm going with that. I was trying to buy Tim some time to find the...
I appreciate it. You did well. Okay,
Thanks.
here it is. I got it.
None of that was okay.
That from happening. Adrian Malagon was one of them. Steve Nikala was another. Stephen Nikala made a promise.
There were people that were in a room that needed to get Heist not to be the chair.
Hey,
Promise to
look,
me.
Caryn
He
Ann
made a
switched
promise to-
sides faster than the fucking. I don't even fucking know. It's insane how much the flip flop has happened. She flipped, then she flops, and then she flips, and then she flops, dude.
She's the John Kerry of the LP, but in the worst way.
that from happening.
There's a good way
Adrian
to be John
Malagon was
Kerry.
one of them. Steve Nikala was another. Stephen Nikala made a promise to me. He made a promise to Keith Thomas. He made a promise to Bill Redpath.
Keith Thomas.
And he made a promise to Dustin
Awesome.
Nana.
Oh,
We
Thomas.
needed
Don't interrupt. I want to hear the promise.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
just
sorry.
the worst. It's just the worst people.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry I've abused you. Please speak
Also,
to my.
by the way, Nana doesn't have any problems with Adrian.
Okay, we'll dispute later.
Nana
I
doesn't
want to.
need that type of promise. Nana's a chill guy.
Wait, let's. I didn't know who Keith Thomas was. I just spoke out of turn.
That's
I'll
fine.
take
That's fine.
back what I said. Redpath and I could get together in college football.
I just want to hear the promise so that Steven can respond to whether or not it's accurate.
And he made a promise to Dustin Nana. We needed Adrian's vote. And what Steve said is, I promise that if Adrian continues his prior bad behavior, that I will ask him to resign. He has broken that promise.
If Adrian continues his bad behavior, you would ask him to resign. In any of
You
your
didn't-
conversations or complaints about Adrian, have you ever asked him to resign?
No, never.
You broke that promise, you son of a bitch.
Steven, Steven,
Fucking asshole.
here's where you go. Yes, every single time. And Adrian goes, I just don't do it.
So why not? Okay, first of all, did you make the promise? That's first and foremost. If you never made the promise, then what she says is invalid.
No, what she said, I think I probably did promise that. I think.
So you're a liar?
No, Steven has read The Prince by Machiavelli. That's all
I've
that
heard.
is.
I mean, I
heard.
might have said that. I don't
No,
really
so
recall.
So I have a
But
question. Hold
I
on, I have a
wouldn't be-
question that's burned into this because, like, what are we defining as bad behavior? Again, Caryn Ann's reality is like anything I don't like is bad behavior. So he's never asked me to resign because if we're going to
Do I need to play your highlight reel again? She
It's
clarifies
so
what your bad
clear of
behavior
what
is.
she's talking about, though.
So because I made fun of Chatterton's weight, rightly
It's
so.
calling Chatterton a hibernating fat bear. Bad
It
behavior.
goes back. It goes
inbreeds.
back. It goes back. Adrian does it to everybody, though. It's just who he is, and that you can't make him resign for that.
You can,
That's the thing.
but you need the votes.
But also, like, nobody else has complained really. So.
Oh, really? So wait, Chatterton has never made a.
No.
Okay,
Well, no, wait,
Chatterton.
I take that back. He has complained. He has mentioned that he's not happy with Adrian's behavior.
Has he ever asked for the removal of Adrian or for Adrian to resign?
Not. He hasn't asked me to do anything. Not
So
to
what?
remove him.
What is the
Yeah,
what is
I
the
think-
substance of the
others
complaint?
might have-
Is to say Adrian's being a dick to me, and then, is that it?
I mean, there's a lot of people that are dicks to each other on the LNC.
I'm
So-
asking you, what is the extent of Adrian?
No, but
of
Adrian is
Chatterton's complaint?
exceptionally.
Oh,
Adrian
he
is
said it on the
exceptionally
public list.
incredulous.
He said
He
it on
said
the
it.
public list. Yeah, it was early on, I think, when the regime change happened, and
Okay.
you know,
You can't say that, you Middle Eastern fuck.
I remember.
You mean the coup? The coup that we had?
Regime change, you Iranian piece of shit.
You know, we backed some moderate rebels, some who turned out to be racist. But you know,
That's too good. That's too good. The analogy fits too well. I don't like this.
Moderate
Look,
rebel.
I had reason to believe that Angela McArdle had weapons of mass destruction, and
Adrian Malagon is days away from a nuclear weapon.
And as we saw earlier, Caryn Ann has weapons of ass destruction. So you know what? We needed to act.
I like that. I like that.
And we did.
Look,
I
I'll say
make
this.
no apology.
I'll say this. I've been friends with Caryn Ann for the most of the last 9 years we've been on the board together.
But you
And
weren't best friends, though. That's the issue. You weren't best
I wasn't
friends.
like Adrian and Caryn Ann, but we were like really good friends. And you know, it's interesting because sometimes you got to put people in their place. And if she didn't like that, she thought it wasn't cool, she wants to resign and throw Molotov cocktails at the LNC and at me over it. Like, I think that just says more about her than it does about.
But not at the headquarters, because we totally wouldn't get any insurance money if you did that.
Yeah, definitely don't. We definitely don't torch headquarters, because
we have plans for the headquarters.
That would be very Aladdin.
We have plans for the headquarters. It's the OnlyFans studio.
Pull it.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
So anyway, I play both sides.
I mean, that's it. I think that hits the nail on the head. Like the fact that, but again, I mean, I'm curious. I'll ask Nikayla now. Like, have any of my attacks ever been? Have I ever instigated anything, or is it a result of some? Is it a reply to something else that someone else starts when they're trying to either be obstructionist, when they're attacking me, when they're attacking you, when they're attacking Meredith, other members of the board, whatever? Do I ever just come out and say, Chatterton's parents are related? No, or do I instigate anything otherwise, or do I reply in kind, or maybe a little bit harsher?
Always harsher
behavior.
You raise the bar every time.
Can you think of a time that I instigated anything? Because I'm actually asking. I'd be hard pressed to imagine a time or think of a time where I just I woke up one morning and I was like, Vincent's a bitch, and then I just left for the day.
The last time you were on our show, yeah.
That doesn't count. Not real.
But what happens in the swamp stays in the swamp unless you capture it and put it on Twitter. So that's
true.
I'd have to honestly go back and see, because there's been various instances of things, going back and forth, much to my chagrin at times, because in a perfect world, everybody would just be cool and get along, and just we would just do what we have to do and let the votes be where they may. But we live in an imperfect world, and
there you go. The fact that you would have to go back, that you can think of a time where I just came out of the gate and said, boom, 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 let's go. That shows you everything. I can point to 5 different times for each person. I mean, Martin just sent us an email today, unsolicited, with stupid, after he was told alternates can't do stuff, right? Like at some point, now I'm just ignoring him and it's whatever. But this is something that happens. They know they can't do this stuff. They're not that stupid. They're not that, I mean, maybe they are that, they lack that much self-awareness, but I've never come out of the gate doing something for, shits and giggles. But the fact that you can't point at that's the thing. And I always bring that to people. Meredith's been there where I've asked, hey, when's the last time, what is it that he did initially to initiate this conflict? And they're always like, well, he responded to, and that's the thing, right? He responded to the thing that you did. He responded to the thing that you did. Now, whether it's over the top or not, that's a different story. I don't think it is. I hold back, actually, believe it or not. But
it's definitely an escalate to de-escalate kind of strategy.
Correct. No, I agree. And now I'm not saying
the art of the deal.
I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying that that's the reality that we live in.
If we bomb their nuclear facilities, they can't fight us, and so therefore we win. Okay.
No,
I want Adrian just to drop something like the time for peace is now.
We're peaceful now. Okay.
No, but just on it, all joking aside, Tim is right. They may send missiles and do whatever, and they might try to attack on a small front. And then I just drop a nuke, and I'm like, yeah, I just Hiroshima'd this, Hirohito, but backward, and then we're done, right? I'm gonna drop this nuke, and then we should be able to call it a day. And if you don't get it from here, then it is gonna get. I guess we drop several nukes, and then we just move on. Nicole just asked if I fight dirty. I don't think that I do. I'm not the one that's ever gone around and shared screenshots and leaked information or done whatever. Do I use sometimes, what I know about the person personally to go after them? Sure, because I think it's funny, and it usually is. And it's there's some of these things that you just can't hide. Like Chatterton is not a small fellow. I mean, there's no hiding that. There's nothing if you want to call attacking that fighting dirty, so be it, Mm-hmm. But
if Chatterton's fat, I'm a ginger.
Yeah. And that's fine. And it's and look, and if we want to talk about stuff that is quote unquote beneficial or not beneficial to the party, I mean, one of the things, and I don't know if I want to use this argument, but I'll use it anyway. I mean, one of the things that helped get us, national attention, not just here in California when Bobby Kennedy came, Cornel West, we had Jill Stein scheduled or whatever, but on the national level, when we were trying to plan all that, was that they legacy media started following the LNC business list. WAPO, Politico. There was a story published about how I told I told Todd to grow a pair when it came to Trump coming to our convention, and per that author's, she told me in DC in person, and then she told me over a phone call and over text that I still have. Like, my editor loves you. He thinks that he's never paid attention to the Libertarian Party before, and it's like the fact that
he thinks you're gay.
Whatever. He did want to do things to me, I think. But that's the thing. It's like, look, we're not, and I'm not saying that kind of attention is the attention that we have, but this is the political sphere that we live in now. And there's certain people that can get away with certain things, and other people can't. I'll point you to the 2016 Republican primary debate. One of them, Trump was being Trump, right? And everyone was like cheering and laughing and doing whatever. And then Marco Rubio, you all remember this, I'm sure. Little Marco made a TikTok, and he said, "Oh, well, your hands are really small. We know what else is really small." And everyone in that room, you could feel the cringe. You're like, "Oh, Senator Rubio,
weak.
Very unbecoming of you." It's okay for Trump to do it because the personalities and the energy are different from Trump than they are for Marco Rubio. He was trying way too hard, and it showed. He had that queued up somewhere. Some aide told him to do it, and they're like, "It's going to be a win," and it doesn't work.
Not congruent.
Think about Chatterton and whatever. That's he snaps back, and it's really dead, and it doesn't. Vincent Cena, you're a comedy person. It always falls flat. It's terrible.
No, you're right, because you're not being genuine in the moment. You're not being genuinely yourself.
You ever see that Russell Brand was getting interviewed by this one cute journalist, and then he picks her up on the stage and is like, "I'm gonna go off to fuck her," and walks off stage, and everybody's laughing and stuff. Imagine if Bill Clinton was in the same position and I'm gonna go off the fuck.
I often imagine Bill Clinton in several positions.
You often imagine him in several positions? Is that what you said?
We're going to the island, baby.
But I mean, there's something to that. And there's just a reality that some people with certain personalities can get away with certain things and other people can't.
Yeah, that's why I get away with everything.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Not here, you don't.
But
fuck up, Tim.
But there is a method to the madness, and it goes back to the thing I said about Michaela's email. It was very uncharacteristic of him to send an email like that. And that's why the betrayal and the backstabbing and the gaslighting or whatever. If it had been me, or actually probably only just me, it would have been like, oh, that's a really lukewarm response to this whole thing. Something that would be very expected. But because it depends on the person who does it, their temperament, their personality, what they can get away with and what they can't. That's just a basic reality. As libertarians, we all believe that we're not all equal. Intrinsically, yes, we're all human, rational beings that have a soul and whatever. But we are not,
except for Rob, because he's a ginger.
Except for Rob, he's a ginger. He's a daywalker at best. But we do understand that certain people are different, and certain rules. As libertarians, we believe that different rules apply to different people based on personality, ability, acumen, intelligence, whatever. And if we don't believe that, then you're probably in the wrong party and you adhere to the wrong philosophy.
I don't know what else to say. Okay, Ben.
Wait, Weird. Steve, I have a question, Steve. Why are you gaslighting Caryn Ann?
Gaslighting's not real. You're just imagining things again.
Steve, why? Why would you do that to her? Why would you tell her she's crazy? That's so insane.
I would never say that. I don't think she's crazy. I mean, look, I don't want to.
You don't think she's crazy? Come on, dude. Look at the picture.
Let Captain Charisma do his thing. Okay, what do you got to say?
Captain Charisma.
That's a Josh Halovka. That's a Josh Halovka nickname, if you don't know. But yeah.
From your former VP. From your former VP.
I don't know if I just sold some state secrets there, but yeah, no, it's true.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to look every time. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. If I
threw him off, it was good.
That comes off this podcast is gonna be like another 4-day long back and forth 4 hour.
Just take another vacation, Steve. It's fine.
That was another complaint she had.
You live in Key West. You don't get enough vacation on the daily.
No, I got to go somewhere else. I'm too. It doesn't do it for me anymore. I got to go to some other island or some other place. It just feels like a normal spot.
I love that
Just
some
give me the
people are
gavel,
gonna.
Steven.
I
You
gotta
know
do
how this
something.
works.
something
I love
different.
that some people are gonna watch this replay and they're gonna hear me say things like this to Steve, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, he got him there," and now they can't do that because I pointed it out. But anyway, go ahead, Steve.
I don't know, man. We deal with such characters in general in the Libertarian Party, and what I've come to realize too is that so many people that like comment on shit, or like even with the social media motion, I've had some criticisms like, oh, well, hiding who's on the social media team is so
They're very mad that you put Ben
anti.
Bear in charge.
It's
Yeah.
anti-liberty. It's like, what the fuck does
Rick
it mean?
Williams, not
Liberty.
Williams.
It's like okay, well, what's anti-liberty? Most organizations, if we were the Republican or Democratic parties, number one, I wouldn't even be allowed to be here, and number two, we wouldn't talk to people who are like on Twitter or on X, because they would barely know who's in charge, let alone what's happening, because all those meetings are top secret. They don't live stream the meetings. They don't
Right.
communicate with constituents on X or through email, or have relationships with people that are like beneath them, so to speak. Like, it would just be the board and what happens below, and nobody gets to talk to these people, and there's 5 walls of separation between them and the people on the ground. But because we're the Libertarian Party and everything has to be out in the open, and we have to know what everybody's, we got to be so transparent. You have to know everything about everybody all the time, 24/7. We should just have live webcams in everybody's rooms, just to see what they're doing, to be extra transparent. And blood work and everything else, just to make sure everything is kosher. It's like how much transparency do we really need? And to be honest, I think the transparency has actually hurt us more than it's ever helped us, because they get to see whatever bad happens, the whole world has to know. The members that really, most people don't even pay attention to anything positive, but as soon as something, Nikela is trying to be the tyrant with the social media team, and Brian McWilliams and and this and that, it's like you can disagree and have your opinion or whatever, but to assume that, oh, this is so we can consolidate power, or whatever that case is, or I don't know, whatever people feel, it's like, all right, cool, man. I don't know. It's just, I think we should put a price tag on the business list, $250 a month. And
well, transparency is a cry of low IQ people. I mean, I, as a joke, and I didn't move forward. I was like, so we just arbitrarily decide again, and it's usually Caryn Ann or a certain group of people. And I said, let's make everything transparent, because we're not allowed to have these chats where we whip votes or discuss things like political people. Let's make everything transparent, right? That was rolled out of order, not incorrectly. But it's just really, really funny that, like, when I was like, let's do a data dump. Everyone has to report every time they text someone. If they don't, that's a violation of the policy manual, blah, blah, blah. And that's like too much transparency. Well, isn't your whole thing like too much? There's no such thing as too much transparency. But I want to, Craig had a really good question I have an answer for this, but.
Yeah. I was going to bring it up. Yeah. Any regrets for Bryce Liscombe since he quote tweeted the tweet by Elon?
That happened today, by the way. That was a really good.
I mean, I hired Bryce. I met him. We didn't like each other at first, because he was talking a lot of shit online when I first got on, and then I guess, I don't know, at some point he kind of started following me, and then he's like, "Hey, I actually like what you're putting out," because he put something out like before Grand Rapids, and I like commented something, and I think John Hudak was even like, calling Nikela a left-wing libertarian is objectively hilarious. And so then, anyway, we got talking. He's like, "Hey, man, I think maybe I was wrong about you, whatever." So I was like, "Hey, man, if we ever, I really appreciate that. Like, it's really a big deal for somebody to admit that they're wrong. If you're ever around, I'd like to, if you're ever around IRL, I'd like to talk to you." And then I was like, "By the way, there's this thing in Grand Rapids." And he's like, "Oh, I'm in Michigan." So we met up there. I sat down with him. I talked to him. He's a really smart guy. I think he's really well-meaning. He's gone through different iterations, Maha, and this and that, whatever. But he's smart. I mean, he reads Rothbard. He reads all the greats. He understands how to communicate the philosophy, and he gets social media. So I was like, "Hey, we had a great conversation. Would you like to be on the social media team?" So I brought him on, and he did a killer job. He got us probably like 1 million impressions within like 24 hours. And, there was a big public backlash, and people wanted him gone. And, apparently he had burned a lot of bridges with people in the LP. So it's not totally unsurprising that he would get that harsh reaction. But I was on an X Space with him maybe a week ago, and it was cool. Had a great time. You know, not everybody trusts him, but it is what it is. It's politics, man. And I will say he did help me build a bridge with LP Colorado with the folks there, and because obviously I threw some shit at them, they threw some shit at me. It was all kind of like, and then you know, and now we're kind of on good terms. So I don't know, man. Good dude. I'm not in a position to say was it a good or right move or wrong move. Wrong move. Bryce is the one who actually quit because of all the heat, but he was doing a bang up job when he was on there for that 24 hours, and he just got retweeted twice by Elon, so he's doing something right.
Well, I mean, I'll say it. I think that he was a net positive. I think that the mistake was him telling people that he was on the. I think this is exactly why social media people should not be publicly, out there or whatever, because you can agree with the idea, but maybe you don't like the person. And libertarians are emotional; they like to pretend that they're not. I mean, Nicole hit the nail on the head. I mean, we're not Republicans, we're not Democrats. We have the most beautiful, brilliant political philosophy known to man, but we have shit people. Like, that's just what it is. People get emotional, they get stupid, they make stupid mistakes. And Bryce got us more engagement and more revenue on that X account with 2 tweets than we'd had in months, cumulatively. And today he got retweeted by Elon, and Elon responded directly to him. And it's like, look, this guy knows what he's doing. But all the heat was, he was doing stuff for Nicole Shanahan and that was his job. Oh, so you're like upset that he did his job? How many Democratic operatives or former Democratic operatives have we hired on the LNC? Or former GOP people have we hired on the LNC? It's almost like talent, we have to bring them in from other people. Like, they have to have had success somewhere else so that they can kind of help us get our feet wet and do all that kind of stuff. And that's where the mistake came, was him just talking about it. Otherwise, no one would have known. All of our people liked it, and he brought in all those people. And then, that porcupine tweet lost us like 400, 500 people in like a day. Right?
There's a lot. Yeah, I want to ask about that too. There's a lot of people pissed off that you pulled the gay porcupine. What was it? You don't have to tell me who posted it. Somebody posted it, and it later got pulled. And you're a big pussy for pulling it. That's the story I've been told, Steve. What did you do?
Well, first I'll say one quick funny thing about Bryce is that even LP Louisiana was retweeting the post that he put up on LP National.
Oh, unknowingly. Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of funny. Oh, this must have been from him. That must have been from him. It's like, you don't know. The porcupine tweet. Yeah, that was fun. I saw the original porcupine tweet. It was Adrian. He did put it up. He just wanted to troll everybody. And it was a big hit. Honestly, it was probably one of his top hits.
Big banger, as the gays say. Yeah.
A big top banger.
Top banger. You're right.
Oh, Jesus.
And so I saw the original, I basically what happened was this is, I was presented with a rainbow porcupine with the trans flag. I was like, it can't be a trans flag. I think it's just going too much. Let's do the regular gay, because it's too much geometry. I don't know if it's like, it feels
well, a penis is really simple geometry. It's just you got a shaft, and then you got a little circular.
Robin's very intimately familiar with penises.
True.
I see
we have
penis.
Expert. We know a guy.
Expert in my penis.
And anyway, the post went up, and I think it's the commentary that probably got people, because it was like, celebrate Pride every week. It's like every week is a good week to celebrate Pride. And so I had a feeling that the image itself was going to get backlash. I think the captions probably what took people off, because not everybody has the same values when it comes to, I don't want to celebrate Pride. Don't force it down my throat or whatever. Some people feel that way. And it makes sense. Like, we don't ask people to celebrate whatever. Like, okay, cool. I think what we should have done is just talk about, hey, this is the Libertarian Party's involvement for over the last 50 years with like Stonewall and this and that, and like the Dallas Buyers Club and blah, 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 blah. And like, make it like an educational but emotional post that like touches on all the right themes, to where people are like, if you're mad about it, like, you really can't be mad about it. Where I think we just put out the porcupine, and I don't know, it got a backlash. So
Well, and
I said to pull it.
philosophically, it's just a stupid. I mean, it's a stupid post, and it's just like, why are we celebrating one group of people? Where does it stop? Right? I like why isn't there like a brown pride thing or a BLM or black like?
Are they need to be deported.
Will we have a Christopher Columbus?
I think there's a pretty big BLM thing.
No, I mean, like,
it doesn't cover me and Adrian though. BLM is
what I'm saying is, like, where do we stop as a party? Where if we're all like for individual rights, why are we now compartmentalizing individuals? Are we all individual rights? Why do we have to point out like the gays won? This has been done for over a decade now. Why are we still? If anything, it should be considered offensive that you're still singling out a people for some like because it's like the social norm, or we've made it the social norm, or whatever. I mean, all the companies this year stopped doing that kind of stuff. Like a majority of them really pulled back on that messaging because it's stupid. Like no one wants that forced upon them. No one cares. It's like no one is fazed by gay couples now. No one is like we've passed that. If we can't evolve and
no, I'm fazed. I don't want to watch.
Well, that's because you're rightfully homophobic. I am too. But I'm just saying that. But the whole thing is that we're either individuals or we're not. We can't like you're individuals in this class, and you're individuals because McGee owns you on his plantation, and you're individuals here. And it's like we are either for individuals and we can just celebrate all of our liberties and individualism without having to put a label on it, or we're trying to pander to a certain group. And who panders the best? Well, leftists. And it's not a good look. It's dumb.
Yeah. What I find the people that had the biggest issue, and I looking back, I think we probably should have just kept it up and just moved on because then we just pissed off everybody. But the people that had the biggest issue with it, us taking it down, a lot of them were conservative Christians, which I thought was interesting.
I do hate Juneteenth.
There you go.
Juneteenth is a good holiday. I like Juneteenth. I 100%.
I love Kwanzaa though because I celebrated it when I was a little girl. I remember celebrating Kwanzaa when I was a little girl, and I remember my mother rolling me down the streets of San Francisco in a stroller, and I cried freedom. And
freedom.
No, I said freedom with the W, and she was just so happy. So Juneteenth, huge fan. But I hate it also. No, I hate Juneteenth. Sorry, I love Kwanzaa because it was Kwanzaa and freedom. Totally not a made-up holiday. It's existed forever. Totally
beautiful, beautiful.
Fuck what I was gonna say. Whatever. All right, keep going,
gentlemen.
Yes,
I'm not gonna let this go in the Caryn Ann territory. We're almost pushing 4 hours now.
I haven't even spanked my ass yet.
Adrian, I don't need anybody spanking any libertarian ass on this podcast here.
You spoke her name. She appeared. What? Don't be distracted.
She's
Keep
looking
going.
right at
I'm sorry. Rasta Caryn Ann is in the room with me right now.
Yeah.
But
don't be worried,
Steven,
man.
Josh, can you make a kissy face to the bottom left corner of your screen? Just like
I am not even going to go there. I can't. My kissy face is actually broken right now. It was a terrible accident. It happened at work. I can't really talk about it. NDA. I have an NDA on that. Like, can't talk about it. But
a no dick agreement.
Yes, no dick on the face. No dick. The dick stays down here where it belongs. It doesn't go in my face. Digressing.
We're losing viewers thanks to you. This young Chinese girl tuned in to watch us smack ass. Okay.
I'm sorry, my porn bots have infected the swamp. I must take them.
All right, we can wrap up. Go ahead.
Let's get the fuck out of here, dude.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I appreciate you making the deal with LP Alliance. I'm skeptical that they'll take you up on your deal, but you never know. I think it would be good. Oh, as the last thing I will say, because we talked about it right before Nikayla hopped on, I made the pitch. We never did this LNC after hours thing. I think we should have any LNC member that wants to be on for whatever. I think we should do it here on Swampcast. They have the hosting ability. We can do a Q&A with LNC members. We can charge. We can figure out the whatever to do it as a fundraiser thing. Whatever.
All monies go directly to Real Swampcast, onlyfans.com/Real Swampcast.
I'll only do it if all proceeds go to Freedom Calls LLC.
Fuck you. No.
At freedomcalls.net. And no, but I think that I think if they're willing to host us and we have LNC members, I think it would be good to have LNC members from all sides or the spectrum or whatever answer different questions.
Is there a way to do it subscribers only? Like ex-subscribers for the Libertarian Party account? Because we've been trying to do something with that. I've been talking to Brian and we want to do like a after, because I pitched them the after hours idea, and I'd be totally down to have the Swamp Creatures host it, and then we just all hop in there, and it could be like branded Swamp Creatures LNC after hours, just and we can boost your podcast, and you just do it behind our subscribership or whatever, and
yeah, we can figure that out. We can figure that out.
You do have paid staff. It is possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I don't think you realize I'll turn a whole room in my house into a fucking studio to do that.
Listen, I think you just make it free and it's fine, and we can have people can they can give their money to the LNC through us. That's fine. We'll make the
I think doing it for free is too much transparency.
Well, no, I know. I actually like Tim's idea. I think that doing some part of it for free and then doing a super chat thing.
Well, listen, yeah. We only answer your question if you super chat, and that money goes directly to the LNC. We can do that, but then the stream itself is free. We can do
and
that.
if they want me to roast them, I can do that. It's a service I would be willing to provide for anybody. It doesn't have to be specific to Chatterton or Martin or Harlos. If Hogarth shows up, or
are you interested in a spit roast? All right, there we go. Let's wrap.
All
Josh.
right,
go.
Why not?
Nice.
Adrian, Stephen, thank you for coming on. Is there anything you guys would like to plug before we call it a night here?
I'll go first because best for last. Let's do Caleb best for last. I'll just plug. Follow me on Twitter if you. I got 20 new followers after the Harlos thing, so that's kind of cool. Nice. Adrian F Malagon. That's at Adrian F Malagon for Twitter. LPCA convention. If anyone's in town, they want to see a roast of Angela McArdle live. Should she actually dare to show up? That'll be fun. That's next month, July 25th, 26th, and 27th. In Santanella, California. The chair will be there. Nikhil's going to be there. Spike Cohen's going to be there. Larry Sharp. It's going to be a good time. So come out for that if you want to. But now best for last, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Malagon, Mr. Secretary Pro Temp.
Oof, that stings.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Ooh. It's 1 o'clock on the East Coast. It's getting late. But I'll say follow me on X, Stephen Nikela. Check us out, lp.org. Join the newsletter. Become a member. Donate $5 a month, $10 a month. Get your $25 a year is to become a pledged member. And I will be at the LP California convention. Should be a lot of fun. Hope to see some folks out there. And that's all I got. Appreciate it, guys.
Let's make it happen. Get on the stream stuff. Follow members. Blah blah blah. All that stuff.